Hello, all guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Welcome to the newest episode of the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast, brought to you on YouTube, on Spotify, on Google, and Apple Podcasts. I'm Austin. I'm a knockout. Watched a lot of wrestling.
I'm David. I'm a noob. Haven't watched nearly as much wrestling, and they don't want none. They don't want none.
Hey, bro, wrong song. Wrong song.
Look,
You'll learn the new one.
This is the point. This is the point. Okay, I am excited. All right. I was told two things about this arc that we would be covering. One, that it's fucking stupid. And two, that it was heavily focused on AJ Styles. I really like everything I have seen of AJ Styles. I hear nothing but about how he is the GOAT. And I, from what I've seen of him, I'm like, yeah, that seems fair. And I hear so many good things about his time in TNA. You know, we've watched a little bit of it. You know, I hear so much good about all of his time outside of WWE. And so the former trumps the latter. I want to be able to dive fully into what my man's has going on in the 2010s in TNA. So I, for one, despite the many warnings I have been given about whatever stupid bullshit I'm about to encounter that I'll probably hate, I am excited. That's probably a mistake, but I'm gonna go into this one with positivity in my heart. You know, the Halloween episode was awesome. And, you know, we're just going to keep the ball rolling.
I respect your optimism.
Hell yeah.
That's the kind of positive attitude we need more of on this podcast sometimes.
Agreed.
So basically, we are jumping into a new arc, into a 2012 TNA arc. And actually, it's not probably the one. It's the other one.
And may I say the timing with the announcement that Impact is returning to its old branding.
Yes, that we are recording this mere days after Impact Wrestling has decided that they're going back to TNA. They tried so hard to rebrand away from TNA, get that LOL TNA stink, that Dixie Carter stink off of the product.
Dixie Carter stank, yep.
And now they're like, you know what? It's been enough time. Everyone's kind of nostalgic for TNA now. Let's go back to it and do it right.
And they've settled into their niche. They've settled into their niche,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and funny enough, this arc kind of takes place right in the pits of LOL TNA of this is the kind of shit we're trying to make everyone forget ever happened.
That's so wild that they because
we are covering the Claire Lynch storyline.
Yes, which you've told me bears some resemblance to what the fuck is her name? Why can't I remember her name? Katie Vick. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so I'm interested.
Yeah, I think you could draw some parallels of it's a big story. It's a well-known bad storyline involving some random woman that only exists in this storyline.
I see.
However, team up the plug after a couple of weeks. In fact, this would take place over several months.
Oh no.
And it really only ended because the Claire Lynch quit.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, Austin. Spike TV was a lawless country, okay? So you don't have nearly the same level. This is the same the same channel that has 1,000 Ways to Die. You do not have the kind of pressure that would have been put on WWF to bury the fuck out of the Katie Vick storyline and act like it never happened, okay? We're in for the long haul here, baby. No studio notes to be found.
Yeah, so I watched 6 weeks in preparation for this.
Holy fuck.
And we'll get there. Fuck. But I will I'll go ahead and preface it of remember how the dominant the custody of Dominic storyline was point of the story. I think, yeah. This is kind of like that, except the before part is also insane. Just in a different way.
So you've said.
Yeah. But we'll get to it. I watched through that point of the storyline up to June 21st, 2012, excuse me. June 21st, 2012 episode of Impact. That's what we're watching. It's the start of the Claire Lynch arc, essentially.
Okay.
And so 6 weeks of TNA included watching. I also watched Sacrifice 2012 and their most recent pay-per-view, Slammiversary. Sacrifice, yes.
Yeah.
And Slammiversary, which was their 10th anniversary.
Oh, shit.
Slammiversary.
That's exciting.
So it was a really big deal. So I'll cover the matches and stuff that happened. It actually was. It was a good show.
Nice. Good.
Yeah, so I'll cover the matches of stuff of Slammiversary and then the results for the June 14th episode of Impact that happened after Slammiversary.
Hell yeah. Okay.
So let's get her started. The first match of Slammiversary 10, the show opened with a Hulk Hogan promo because, quick sidebar, Hulk Hogan is the GM of Impact right now, of TNA. And he has instituted his daughter, Brooke, as being the executive in charge of the Knockouts division specifically.
Absolutely, dude. If Vince can do it, so can I, brother.
He's your Nepo baby. This Nepo baby idea seems pretty good to me, brother.
Real.
So was like, we're taking things tonight, brother, on Slammiversary.
Nice.
An X Division title match with no limits. Austin Aries versus Samoa Joe for the X Division title.
Oh, shit. That's exciting.
Big deal, because at this point in time, the X Division was working under a weight limit. The X Division, whose tagline is, it's not about weight limits, it's about no limits. Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan got in there and said, why does this cruiserweight belt we're going to put a weight limit on it?
That's okay, sure, I guess.
And so now the weight limit is 225 pounds.
But
obviously Samoa Joe does not make that weight because he's fat, in the words of Scott Steiner.
So they cut the limits. So they cut the limits for him for this match.
Yeah, because he's a former X Division champion himself. So, and then Austin Aries.
Also, isn't Austin Aries the dude that had beef with Johnny Impact?
He did. He is the one who at Bound for Glory, I think 2018, he lost to Johnny Impact, Johnny Mundo, Johnny all the names. And then after the match, he immediately rolled out of the ring, got up, walked out, flipped off the fans, walked to the back and quit.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. It is that motherfucker. Okay.
I remember that because all the online chatter, a lot of the immediate online chatter was LOL TNA. Look at them doing this stupid work shoot bullshit. And then it came out that Austin Aries was just an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they weren't running an angle here.
I read about this, and it was I think it was an entry on either his or Mundo's Wikipedia page or something. And it was Mundo made some comment on Twitter. Because they were feuding, so Mundo taunted him on Twitter about something kind of innocuous, and Aries got big.
He probably called him short. So he probably got
I think that's what it was.
Because he is a big. Austin Aries is a big baby about being called short. He's 5'2",
and he's a fucking baby. Okay, yeah, that probably is
something.
It. The Miz, let me find this shit. Impact Championship. This was so funny. Austin Aries. Yeah, okay. So, as the Impact began a feud with the Impact World Champion Austin Aries, which led to a match with Bound for Glory. As the pay-per-view moved closer, the feud started to blur as the lines between a work and a shoot beginning with the two wrestlers trading insults on Twitter that they appeared to take personal, with Aries later deleting many of his tweets. Specifically, Johnny Impact, mocked Aries' short stature, and the champion responded by making fun of Johnny Impact's wife's weight. So,
I did forget that part where he called
Taya Valkyrie
fat. Forgot about that.
Yeah, so basically Johnny Mundo accidentally worked himself into a shoot by calling Austin Aries short on Twitter. So Aries yeah, well, your wife's fucking fat, and then it went downhill from there.
Yeah, so Austin Aries is kind of well known at this point in time as being a total dickhead, and that's why he doesn't get any work anymore. But at the time in 2020, character, he's a great character. Is currently the greatest man who ever lived. A character, I guess, has a pretty big, good match with Samoa Slammiversary, and he retains the X Division Championship.
Samoan Joseph. Yeah, congratulations to him.
Yeah. People in the video version of this, I am trying to find a spot in my hotel room that has the belt. Enjoy watching me walk around my hotel room. Anyway, the next match on the show was also a match that wasn't really advertised. It was Hernandez versus Kid Cash. Two guys who were in TNA way back in the beginning. So it's kind of a bringing back the legends kind of in a match. Hernandez won, and apparently Hernandez is sticking around.
Hell yeah!
Seems like.
Okay, well that's cool.
In the next episode of Impact.
Yeah, we got 2 more years.
Yeah, nothing much
to
it.
We got 2 more years before Lucha Underground kicks up. You know how it is.
Yeah. All right, next match. Devon Dudley, here going by Devon to avoid
copyright or trademark
WWE copyright. Trademarks infringement, yes. And Garrett Bischoff. Yep. That Bischoff.
Garrett Bischoff?
Eric Bischoff's son, who
he has
got
one
a
of
job
those
as a wrestler. He does, and he got him a spot on the TNA roster.
What the fuck?
And he was pushed, and he sucked.
Who the fuck would have a child with Eric fucking Bischoff?
That feels rude, but possibly fair. So it's Devon and Garrett Bischoff versus the Bromans, Robbie E and Robbie T.
What the fuck?
So the Bromans are basically two vaguely Jersey Shore guys in the same way Zack Ryder is kind of vaguely Jersey Shore.
Oh, sure.
They're just two bros. And Devon is the current TNA television champion.
Oh, nice.
And what that means in this very specific moment in time is that he has to defend the TV title every single week.
Oh, shit.
This was another Hogan Bischoff invention, and they put the gimmick on this belt, and they would only keep the gimmick while Devon Dudley was the champion. So,
okay.
Well, cool idea, but also you only used it so you got weekly Devon Dudley singles matches.
Look, when a man's a draw, a man's a draw. I don't know what to tell you. And clearly, Devon Dudley was drawn. Okay. Okay. Hot take though. Hot take. I kind of like the idea of gimmick belts. I think it's interesting to have mid card belts that have a gimmick attached to them, so it's not just here's another just normal belt. I like that idea.
Sure. But anyway, Devon, he's been routinely feuding with Robbie E and Robbie T over the belt, even there. But to the point that they interfered with Garrett Bischoff getting a match with Devon for the TV title. And that spurned Garrett to be like, hey, you know what? Fuck these guys. I'm going to help you take them out because they fucked me over.
Outstanding.
And so they have a tag match on pay-per-view. Devon and Garrett Bischoff get the win. Robbie E and Robbie T are kind of like on the verge of breaking up. They're doing that kind of like miscommunication, malfunction, junction shit that happens.
Can they coexist?
Especially when both men in a tag team are going for the same singles belt at the same time.
Oh shit!
Like they're both going for the TV title.
That is unfortunate,
and it's causing friction.
Oh no, friction! That's unfortunate.
Yeah, the next match was a 3-way match to determine the number 1 contender for the TNA Heavyweight Championship between Jeff Hardy, Rob Van Dam, and Mr. Anderson.
Ah, yes. So this is legally distinct, Mr. Kennedy.
Yes, but he's using his real name, Ken Anderson, and also... but doing the exact same gimmick of like
the
having
microphone.
the mic, like the old timey boxing mic.
Look, man,
come down
if
to
it
him
works,
and he does Mr. Anderson. He is now added the wrinkle of calling himself and his fans assholes. Like he's like, hey, are these any assholes in the building tonight? And everyone cheers.
That's fair. Oh my God, Garrett Bischoff is part of Aces and Eights. That's hilarious.
Hey, hold on, man. We aren't deep enough yet to get the Aces
we're
and
going
Eights
down the
and
iceberg
Bischoff being
pardon
in the
me.
group. We are. So basically, they were all kind of fighting. All 3 of these men were fighting around for the belt at Sacrifice. Rob Van Dam earned a title shot with Bobby Roode, which he did lose on that pay-per-view in the main event. And Mr. Anderson and Jeff Hardy wrestled each other singles match on that pay-per-view, and they're all kind of circling. Jeff Hardy and Rob Van Dam are the same characters they've always ever been. Yeah. And they're kind of fighting around for it. There's not a lot of story going on here, but they're all just kind of like, this is the main event scene trying to, find the next challenger to Bobby Roode. And Mr. Anderson gets the dub here.
Oh, shit.
And he will get his title match with Bobby Roode the next week on Impact.
That is a hell of a main event.
Mm-hmm. Now, the next match is Crimson. Can't wait to talk about this guy. So, Crimson, his gimmick is being unbeaten.
Okay.
He gets an undefeated streak of like 470 days, despite being like a generic tattooed white guy that the audience doesn't really give a shit about.
Oh no.
Like, he just doesn't have the charisma or talent to make this gimmick work in a way that, for example, Goldberg or Asuka made it work. So he's just winning, and he kind of sucks.
That's unfortunate.
They did a couple of funny things with him where he would where one time he had a match on Impact where his opponent got pre-match beaten down and stretchered off, and he demanded the refs start the match and start the count out anyway.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So that he gets a win by automatic count out.
Hey, he's undefeated.
Anyway, he calls out an open challenge there. This show is in Dallas, by the way. That informs what he says here. He's like, I'll fight any of your Rangers and I'll fight any of your Mavericks, referring to the sports teams here. And I'll fight any of your Cowboys. And as at this point, Cowboy James Storm answers his challenge.
James Storm, have we encountered?
And then the Cowboy James Storm wins in 2 minutes, breaking Crimson's unbeaten streak.
That's a choice.
He would proceed to basically never show up on Impact again and be fired by the end of it.
What the fuck? What's he up to now?
Because I cannot... Nothing, as far as I'm aware. Though I'm now curious. He is currently signed to the NWA under his real name, Anthony Mayweather.
He's getting TV time back, baby. They're gonna be on the CW. Let's go.
Cool. Anyway, Crimson loses. LOL. Basically, the story. Yeah, basically the story with James Storm is he lost a big title match to Bobby Roode, and he kind of got in his head like his damn luck finally run out. Get it? Because his catchphrase is "sorry about your damn luck," and just kind of wondering if like he's washed, if like he can't be a top guy in wrestling anymore. He's got too old, so he went home to the farm, and they did a bunch of vignettes of him on his farm with his kids talking about if he's going to get back in the ring. And then his daughter is like, "You're going back to wrestling, aren't you, Daddy?" And he's like, and that's when he realized it's time for him to saddle up one more time.
What the fuck?
It was kind of cute, kind of it's harder to care about these things knowing that he's gonna still be wrestling now.
What is it like? What is it with TNA and just really liking like dudes shooting their own shit on their own like compounds?
Because it makes for easy vignette material.
That's fair. And you know, when you got a limited budget, you'll take what you can get. Let's fucking make this shit efficient, all right, baby?
Yeah, so James Storm is officially back in TNA.
Exciting.
Then the next match for the Knockouts Championship, Gail Kim versus Miss Tessmacher.
It's who?
Brooke Tessmacher. Kind of a staple of the TNA Knockouts division around this time. I mean, her gimmick isn't anything interesting or, new for, a Knockouts gimmick.
She's
in the
hot.
early 2010s.
She's so hot.
Correct.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, Gail Kim is not doing anything much better either, as Gail Kim has fallen into the trap of being a woman who is good at wrestling and is a heel. What that means is you get really into the gimmick of being not like other girls. Not like these Barbie bimbos who only care about their looks, not like me who cares about my in-ring talent. Beth Phoenix falls into it, AJ Lee falls into it, and Gail Kim falls into it.
Yeah. I feel like poor heel women so many times get trapped into doing either that shit or just like random mean girl shit. Can other types of women exist wrestling? It's not new information.
Anyway, Miss Tessmacher actually beats Gail Kim to become Knockouts champion. It's a big deal because it's a hometown win for her. It's a big emotional moment. Yada yada da.
Oh, nice.
Then the next match on the pay-per-view is Bully Ray versus Joseph Park. So Joseph Park is Abyss. Basically,
shit.
Yeah, so basically Bully Ray had this big hardcore match with Abyss. It was brutal, it was awful, and then suddenly Abyss disappeared months ago.
Oh my god. That's kind of
But his brother, who is an attorney, is going to crack this case. He is doing investigative work to find what happened to his brother. Yep.
Oh my god, no way. This is fucking Thomas Whitney Esquire meets fucking Elias and Ezekiel. What the hell?
Yeah. Joseph Park is looking for his brother, Chris. You might know him, which is
his brother Chris. You
Abyss's
might know
real
him.
Name is Chris Joseph Parks. Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Anyway, yeah, it's because his real name is Chris Joseph Parks. So they're like, Chris, and his brother's name is Joseph. Anyway, he has kind of settled into the idea that Bully Ray has, after all, the last person to have a match with Bully Ray before, Abyss, before Abyss disappeared.
Yeah.
And Bully Ray just kind of is an asshole about everything. So,
wow, no way.
Like, he does take credit for leaving Abyss for dead, his words. And now he's trying to put his brother in the hospital as and so they get they have a no DQ
Well, yeah, fuck that guy.
match on the pay-per-view. Important thing to mention though is Abyss has been popping up. The first week of Joseph Park looking around, at one point Abyss pops up and is like, "Little brother, I've seen you rugging around here. Stay away. It's for your own good."
Oh my god, they're doing like Underfaker shit almost. Fuck
almost except you're kind of supposed to think that Joseph Park is Abyss. Like,
oh, they are leaning into that.
They are obvious. More so, I think. It'll get more. They'll add on this gimmick of like whenever Joseph Park sees blood, he switches back to Abyss. So that, and that's when it'll be more obvious that like it's the same guy. It's just nuts.
It's a whole, yeah.
But for now, they are playing it as two separate people that just coincidentally are never in the same room at the same time.
I mean, fucking, there are a lot of people who aren't in the same room at the same time. Don't gotta mean nothing. It's fine.
Abyss will pop up on video boards to cut promos at Joseph, who is at ringside in the same spot. On the pay-per-view, Bully Ray is beating down Joseph Park, and then Joseph Park rolls out of the ring, rolls under the ring, under the ring, and then rolling out of the ring is done Abyss, who choke slams Bully through a table.
Wait.
And then Abyss goes out of the ring, goes under the ring, and then out pops Joseph Park, who comes in and pins Bully.
Oh shit. For some reason, I thought Abyss had like some really involved makeup.
No, he just has the mask.
Okay, we've seen it before. Okay, that's kind of cool then. That's funny. That's some. Mm-hmm. This is wow. With this mask, this is just a Mankind ripoff, and you know what? I'm here for it.
It's a Mankind ripoff if Mick Foley didn't acknowledge that he is Mankind.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, they did have the Royal Rumble where like all three of the they kind of play fast and loose on whether or not Mick Foley, Cactus Jack, Mankind, and Dude Love are all the same motherfucker or not. They kind of play fast and loose on that sometimes.
Fair. So basically, Abyss helps Joseph win his match against Bully Ray at Slammiversary.
That's awesome.
Now, the next match is the AJ Styles match, but I think we're going to save that one for last.
Oh, okay.
You know, we gotta keep it fun and interesting. We gotta put off this Claire Lynch crap as long as possible.
Oh no.
The main event of Slammiversary is Bobby Roode defending his belt against Sting. It's a big deal because last time Bobby Roode and Sting had a match, Bobby Roode brutalized Sting and put him on the shelf for months. But Sting is back, baby.
Oh, shit.
And he is coming for that belt. And also on this show, on Slammiversary 10, they introduced the very first TNA Hall of Fame inductee.
Oh,
this is the thing they're doing every year. And the first inductee is also Sting.
Sting.
So Sting is challenging for Bobby Roode for the belt. Bobby Roode does win. Basically, Bobby Roode finds James Storm's six-pack that he left at ringside, like his beer, and he cracks a bottle over Sting's head. And that's how he gets the dub.
Interesting. Okay, you know.
Bobby Roode, for his part, is in the middle of his big heel run. He is the longest reigning champion in TNA history at over 250 days at this point.
Is that record still held by him?
Josh Alexander would beat him for that record, but otherwise it's number 2.
Nice.
And he is just cocky, arrogant Bobby Roode. This is kind of the best version of Bobby Roode there ever has been. He is the face of the selfish generation, in his words. He is a dirt bag of dirt bags.
He's our dirt bag. Fuck, God damn. Anyway, keep going.
And now, okay, so we just covered that. Then the AJ Styles match of Slammiversary.
Yes, the storyline for whomst we are here. Let's fucking go.
Correct. AJ Styles and Kurt Angle for the wrestling for the TNA World Tag Team Championships against Bad Influence, Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian.
Okay. All right.
This story is basically the birth of Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian as a tag team.
Yeah.
Basically, in February 2012, Frankie Kazarian betrayed AJ Styles for Christopher Daniels because Daniels had evidence. He showed Frankie Kazarian evidence that showed that AJ Styles wasn't the man he thought he was. And they spend a long time hyping up what this evidence is. But eventually in May, they do explain what the evidence is that Daniels and Kazarian have pictures of AJ Styles with company president Dixie Carter, and he's getting a little too close for comfort.
Okay.
They are implying that AJ Styles had an affair with Dixie Carter, and that's why he is the face of TNA.
Okay.
In the words of Christopher Daniels, and Frankie Kazarian, we now know why AJ Styles is the face of TNA. It's because he's been whistling Dixie.
So, as you pointed out to me, that is an incredibly stupid way to get together one of the most iconic tag teams in all of indie wrestling. And also, I really fucking hate storylines like this that aren't just, like, meant to prove whoever is accusing the person of, like, sleeping with the boss wrong. So this sounds terrible, and I'm very excited.
Hold on.
Oh,
there are so many twists and turns of this story. Don't get too committed to this narrative quite yet.
Okay,
but basically, over the next several weeks, we'll present more evidence. They will have footage of AJ following Dixie Carter into her hotel room, and they found phone. They've got the phone, the phone call audio of AJ and Dixie meeting up, and AJ being like, Surge. That's Dixie's husband, whose name is Surge. Not kidding. If Surge, SERG, making sure that Surge won't be around, and how they just can't wait to get together. And they're like, oh my God, like this is the smoking gun. We got him now. And Dixie has been distraught. She has been she storms into the production meeting and demands that whoever let that footage air get fired. She's like, she is tearing her family apart. At one point, Surge shows up on screen and just decks AJ Styles in the face.
Okay, that's wild.
But now at this point, it's become a case of Dixie is trying to heal the truth, explain what all's been happening here. But they've kept getting interrupted for a couple weeks, so the mystery continues of what exactly is going on with AJ Styles and Dixie Carter.
Oh God, okay.
And this episode that we're going to be watching, is where the Claire Lynch of it all comes in.
The Claire Lynch of it all. That's not foreboding in the slightest.
Sorry, I forgot to explain. My bad. AJ, for his part, has also been super distracted about he is really selling the idea that he is that Kazarian and Daniels have gotten into his head about this crap. He is losing focus. He's sometimes really showing up for work. When he does show up to wrestle, he is mostly focused on beating up Daniels and Kazarian instead of keeping his eyes on the prize. Despite these difficulties, AJ and Kurt Angle beat Daniels and Kazarian and now they're the tag team champions in TNA.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Fuck. What year was the Christmas episode that we covered last year? Was that? I feel like that was earlier. Wasn't that like 2010?
It was like 2006, 2000. It was pretty far back.
So Angle and AJ are back on like good terms then, because they were not back in 07. Okay.
Yeah. Now they're two babyface dudes.
Nice. Are we in Perk Angle territory? Are we in Perk Angle territory, or is he doing okay right now?
A little bit. It's definitely there's some different. It's not as bad as like that picture I showed you. Like holy fuck, what is going on with you, man? But he definitely looks a little weird at certain angles. I'm like, huh? Like this Kurt?
Well, that'll be interesting to see in action.
Bud,
Well, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, so that was Slamversary. Let's get to the Impact results for June 14th. We opened the show with a TNA X Division Ultimate X match between Austin Aries, Chris Sabin, and Zema Ion, who is DJZ.
Okay, fair enough.
Like, they just open with an Ultimate X match. It's like, whoa, that's nuts.
That's wild.
Austin Aries gets the dub. And after the match, Aries gets the microphone. He's like, I came to Impact over a year ago, and there's nobody who can get in the ring with me that I can't beat. I am pound for pound the greatest fighter in TNA, and I want more than just division belt.
Yeah.
And so, he's and out comes Hulk Hogan.
Oh.
And Hulk Hogan's like, brother, you might be the greatest wrestler I've ever seen in the ring, dude. Cut that pound for pound crap, brother. You are the best wrestler in TNA, dude, in the ring. Okay.
Was not expecting that from Hogan. And
so Hogan offers Austin Aries he gives him a choice. Is that Austin Aries at the next upcoming pay-per-view, Destination X, can challenge Bobby Roode for the world title on one condition. Okay. On one condition, he has to give up the X Division Championship to get the shot.
Okay, interesting.
He's either walking out of Destination X walking out with nothing.
Wait. He's walking out with nothing. Is Hogan saying he has to vacate either way now? What?
That's just what he said, man. That's what do you want me to do? What do you want? He said that's the way he put it.
Oh my god.
Basically, this is the birth of option C, as they would call it. Where basically on an annual basis, usually a Destination X, the X Division champion can voluntarily vacate the belt for a shot at the world title. It kind of becomes like the best and the worst. It's a lot of attention on the belt that otherwise is just kind of like the mid-card belt of TNA. Kind of presents an opportunity for like a new star
and
to get
cool
a shot at the world title.
Like
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like X Division stuff is awesome and I love it. But okay, interesting.
On the downside, it also it turns the X Division into a feeder, kind of a stepping stone title. It kind of becomes like I got to win the title so that in the future I can get a world title match. It's not the glory of being X Division champion is not self-evident. It's because it gets you a title match. You can hold on to it.
Which okay. I'm of multiple minds about that. I feel like it could be done well. A lot of times for younger talent, holding a mid-card belt is in a way an indirect stepping stone to one day holding a main event belt. But also, and also, I feel like it could be booked well if done sparingly. The question is, do I trust 2010's Impact to book something like that sparingly?
Well,
No.
they do keep it like they do keep it an annual gimmick for the first few years of it. Like it's a thing you can do at Destination X in particular.
Okay.
Like it's not a thing you can just kind of do whenever. But to be fair, in the last few years when they've brought it back, you could just do it whenever.
I see.
So, you know.
I do think there is a lot.
It's still only been
that
done
could be
7
with that,
times since it was in. It's only been done 7 times since they introduced this concept, once
Okay.
per year at most.
Okay.
But it's still it's still kind of a controversial element they added to it all. The just, you know, dump this belt for a world title match.
I can see why it would be controversial, and I think like it's very easy to mishandle something like that. I don't know. I personally just think you could, in theory, do something cool with that.
Sure.
I don't know. Anyway.
But that is the introduction to the option. C is Hogan presenting Aries with a choice, and he's given Aries a week to think about it, to give him a decision of what he's going to do.
Fair enough. Reasonable.
The next match of the show, the TNA, the contractually obligated TNA Television Championship match between Hernandez and Devon. Devon gets the win, and spoilers, this will be the last time we get the weekly title defense gimmick, because Devon will have to vacate the belt because he will enter into contract negotiation issues with TNA, and thus he's not gonna be on TV for a couple of months.
Oh,
because he's busy fighting over a contract extension.
Oh no, that's unfortunate.
Yeah,
well, rip in
bit
peace
weird.
To that gimmick.
Yeah, it lasted like 3 months at most.
Oh no.
Okay, backstage, AJ was talking to Dixie Carter, and AJ's like, I can't do this anymore. You know, we can't keep this thing a secret anymore. And Dixie's like, but people are going to get hurt. And AJ's like, people are already getting hurt. We got to get it out there in the open tonight.
Who is getting hurt?
And this leads, yeah, I guess, AJ and Dixie and Surge. Cool.
Are getting hurt, and that's it. I mean, I guess, but you know, don't pretend like it's some noble like thing you're doing, man. God damn.
Yeah. Next up, we get the first match in the Bound for Glory series, which is a delightfully good idea, bad execution. The Bound, basically in 2011, the TNA looked at that hot shot promotion called New Japan Pro Wrestling, which is starting to get a little bit of buzz on the internet. And they look at that cool thing they do called the G1 tournament, and they say, hey, what if we did one of those? And somehow they managed to miss the point entirely.
What? How?
I'll get there. Basically, for the uninitiated, the G1 Climax tournament is one of the biggest annual tournaments, the biggest annual tournament that New Japan puts a dozen or couple of the biggest heavyweight wrestlers in their company, and it's a big, grueling round robin tournament that takes place over the course of about a month and a half, and the winner, originally it was just for the winning the tournament. In fact, all the singles world heavyweight champion in New Japan matches later in the year. If you beat the champ in the tournament, you get a title match later.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, though, in recent years, to kind of drum up interest in their biggest annual show, added the stipulation that the winner of the G1 Climax will get a World Heavyweight Championship match in the main event of Wrestle Kingdom.
Okay, so damn.
And
when
now you may
be
asking, what if the world had?
I was gonna say, like, it's almost like a it's very Royal Rumble-ish in that regard. Obviously, to a much different extent, but like, nice. I never thought of it that way before. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the person who wins the title, who wins the G1, must also defend their title shot against anyone who beat them in the tournament, because it is a round-robin tournament. Nobody goes unbeaten. Nobody goes unbeaten throughout the tournament. So if you beat the eventual winner, you get a singles match later in the year for a shot for their G1 winnings title shot.
That's insane. What?
And then basically, and I will say the World Heavyweight Champion still competes in the G1 as is tradition. And basically, the rules, while it's never happened, the rules stipulate that it is assumed that if the heavyweight champion were to win the G1, they would get to pick their own opponent at WrestleMania.
Okay, cool. That's sick as hell.
Yeah. And so the Bound for Glory series, it is a tournament of about 12 wrestlers competing in a round-robin-ish format, and the winner gets a world title match in the main event of TNA's biggest show of the year, Bound for Glory. Hence the name Bound for Glory series. Now, I think this could have worked. It's one of the hypotheticals that a lot of WWE and AEW fans throw around a lot. Is popular, the G1 is a cool format. What if they did a G1? Companies did a G1. It's usually kind of assumed that it can't work quite the same way, just TV time. This becomes, New Japan doesn't have weekly television the way that we think about it in America. They do tour. They're a touring company that airs the touring show. They do 3 to 4 shows a week every single week. And that becomes the entire wrestling that they do for a month and a half.
And that's a lot.
And again, every wrestler is wrestling, and every wrestling multiple times a week. It is difficult to recreate that kind of environment in something like WWE or AEW, because they only wrestle once a week on their weekly show. It would take way too long and take up way too much in-ring focus for too long, that most people kind of treat like a proper G1 in America to be kind of a bad idea.
That's fair. I can understand that.
Now, TNA would give this a try, and their biggest fail, there are 2 big failings in my mind. One, the scoring system. In the G1 scoring system is very simple. 2 points for a win, whether that be by pinfall, submission, or count out, and 1 point for a draw or a double DQ situation, and then 0 points for a loss. Obviously, it's very simple, very easy to follow the math of it all.
That makes sense.
This is the TNA Bound for Glory series scoring system.
Oh no!
10 points for a submission victory. It's for a pinfall victory. 5 points for a countout victory. Points for a disqualification victory. 2 points for a draw. And if you lose by disqualification, you lose. Sometimes they can have special matches that can be worth up to 20 to 25 points at their discretion to whenever they announce that.
I like where their head is at. I think it's interesting to have like all these little stipulations added, but that is a lot to keep track of, and probably not the best for making this shit digestible, especially on like a first go round. I don't fucking know. That's a lot. I will admit, even as somebody who likes my shit real extra, that's a lot.
Yes, it is. The second have is it seems like they didn't Robin thing, in that in the first iteration of the Bound for Glory series, nobody had the same amount of matches in the Bound for Glory series.
That seems
now
like a major oversight.
Now, some people were injuries because Samoa Joe a gimmick of he thinks this tournament is stupid, so he's just trying to get himself cued and injure people.
What? I mean, why?
So,
why is that his attitude?
I don't know, but that's here are the 12 wrestlers that were included in the 2011 Bound for Glory series, and I will tell you how many matches they had. Problem here. Bobby Roode had 16 matches. Keep in mind there are only 12 people in the tournament, so we're already not doing a real round robin. Bully Ray had 16 matches. Gunner had 20 matches and only came in third. James Storm had 13 matches. Rob Van Dam had 13 matches. AJ Styles had 11 matches. Scott Steiner had 10 matches. Samoa Joe had 10 matches. Crimson had 10 matches before being kayfabe injured. Devon had 15 before being kayfabe injured. Matt Morgan had 5 before being actually injured. And D'Angelo Dinero had 17 matches before being kayfabe injured.
That seems unbalanced.
Yeah, it kind of seems like they just stuff in this thing. It's part of the fun of the G1 is that going into it, not only everyone has the same number of matches, everybody, you get the entire schedule for the entire tournament before the tournament starts. So you can look at the schedule, predict, this looks like a trap game because it's coming off of a difficult match. It's kind of sandwiched between difficult matches and, this guy wrestling in the main event of his hometown. I bet he's going to okay, here are the final matches of the tournament. Who is probably going to be in a position to win? Because obviously they're going to book it so that the final matches are the most narratively important for who wins the tournament.
Okay. All right.
Interesting. New Japan's is very structured and rigid, and everyone knows up front when everybody's wrestling everybody else. So you can build hype for those matches. They just kind of did matches on a week-to-week basis and said, this is for the Bound for Glory series with no ability to follow, left. Who is still in contention? Who is out of the running?
This sounds deeply fucked up. Okay.
Who knows?
The scoring thing I was kind of amenable to, even if it seemed overdone. But what? What is this shit? Why? Why is this shit? What is happening?
I don't know. At some point, they just had the tournament finals where Bully Ray beat James Storm by DQ. Bobby Roode beat Bully Ray in a tiebreaker match to win the whole thing.
Okay, base.
Also, I want to point out that also counted towards so they could get around the fact that we only have one show a week. They also included house shows, but unlike New Japan, watch those matches.
Yeah. What is happening? Why are they doing this? Fuck, it was such a cute idea, and then they just did every stupid thing possible. Yes, I see it is my stream now. Never mind.
Yes.
Anyway.
So very, very dumb. It's all dumb.
Yes. That's very dumb.
And so this first
very stupid.
To kick off the Bound for Glory series, we get a 20-man gauntlet match where the winner gets 20 points. Again, they just have matches.
Sure, I guess. That's a choice. Okay, it's fine. It's fine.
It is it's a gauntlet match. Every top rope and out of the floor. So they do a Royal Rumble match, call it a gauntlet battle royal. Fantastic.
Great.
James Storm gets the win by last eliminating Samoa Joe. So James Storm starts with a 20-point advantage in the Bound for Glory series. I will be keeping track of these and keeping you all updated on the math of this insanity as we go along.
Oh, thank you. I can't wait to barely comprehend what the fuck is happening.
Anyway, after the match, James Storm got on the microphone and kind of re-explained his motivations of like how his daughter showed him how much wrestling meant to her as well as to him, and how he's doing it for his little girl, and he's coming back and he's gonna kick Bobby Roode's ass.
Oh man, his whole ass. That's exciting.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, in backstage, Kurt Angle yells at AJ for letting Daniels and Kazarian screw with him, and he's like, dude, get your shit together. And AJ's like, sorry, will do.
Based.
The next match is a non-title match between Madison Rayne and the new champion Miss Tessmacher. Madison Rayne is in a gimmick right now where she has a secret crush on the roster.
On the whole roster?
Like, it was like there's someone on the roster she has a crush on. She's not
okay.
saying.
She has a secret crush on just the concept of the roster. Anyway.
Duh, of course.
Duh, obviously.
Yeah, duh. Now, she has been making appearances during like the Devon, Robbie T, Garrett Bischoff matches. Mm-hmm. So like, I feel like it's implied it's one of the bromans. It would be funnier if it was Devon.
That would be really
But funny. we don't know yet where that's going.
Oh.
Anyway, Miss Tessmacher gets the dub, of course.
Of course.
And in the back, Brooke Hogan talks with Gail Kim, and Gail Kim is like, I want my Knockouts title rematch, and I want it immediately. Thank you.
Oh, do they have a
and
rematch
Brooke
stipulation?
Hogan is like,
and did Hogan bring that shit with him?
They do.
God
they do. But Brooke Hogan is like, well, let me tell you something, brother. You see, she's basically like, you see, dude, your contract says that you do get a title rematch, but it doesn't say when you get a title rematch. So because you're annoying me, enjoy your vacation for a few weeks.
Okay.
So Brooke Hogan is considering multiple women for a title match on this episode.
This very episode.
But she, yes, but it will not be Gail Kim.
It will not be Gail Kim because fuck you.
Brooke Hogan said, because fuck you, yes. Then the main event match of the show, Bobby Roode versus Mr. Anderson for the World Championship. And Bobby Roode gets the dub. So
exciting. How exciting.
He is still the champion. We cut back to Dixie Carter and AJ Styles talking about this secret of theirs that they're finally going to reveal to the world. And Dixie says she needs a week to get things in order. So, yes, on this episode we're getting to the secret. Don't worry about it.
The secret.
Yeah, so Dixie reassures AJ they're going to get through this. It's okay. But yeah, that's a big selling point of this episode is the reveal of the secret they have been hiding, and that according to Daniels and Kazarian is an affair between Dixie and AJ.
This is about to get weird. This is about to get real weird. Oh boy. Ho howdy. Alrighty then.
You have no idea. Then the main event segment of the evening. Oh, before that though, I do want to talk about is hype up for next week, aka this week, is Open Fight Night. This is another Bischoff Hogan gimmick they've added to the program. Basically, on a monthly basis, an episode of Impact is called Open Fight Night, and the gimmick is call out anyone else in the locker room for a match, and if you get called out, you are contractually obligated to accept the challenge.
That's a lot. I don't hate the open fight night idea. Maybe don't do it as often.
Yes, I agree. It feels excessive that way.
Interesting. Yes, a little bit.
Anyway, it's Open Fight Night, bitch. Next week. And also next week is the return of TNA Gut Check. Let's talk about that. So, TNA Gut Check is a gimmick they invented as a way to kind of like do tryout matches and turn them into on-screen television products. Basically, the original incarnation of TNA Gut Check that we are still a part of at this point in time was basically like you have this unsigned guy come in and have a match with an established member of the roster. They would pretty much always lose, though I think once or twice the potential signee did win. And then the next week, a panel of judges, can't wait for this, of Bruce Pritchard, Al Snow, and Taz judge these incoming wrestlers' performances, and then they have a big segment in the ring where they vote yes or no to sign them, and if 2/3 of them vote yes, they get signed.
Is that shoot? Is that for real? Is that like?
Yes, it is. What? It is completely shoot how they do that.
How the fuck do they like? Damn, that's a lot of power to like put in the hands of those 3 dudes.
Yeah, they like we do know this is like legit stuff because there was the later versions of the gimmick would have two different signees wrestle each other, and then they would pick who gets voted on to be signed. And there was controversy by the original version of this, Brian Cage versus Jay Bradley. You may remember Deadlock ranting about this. But they told Brian Cage that don't worry, like we're going to sign you. This TNA Gut Check thing's just a gimmick to get you on TV, introduce you to the audience. And then they picked Jay Bradley to be voted on.
What?
And they didn't sign Brian Cage.
What?
So.
What the hell? Wait, that's so fucked up.
Yes, it is. So next week we'll have a TNA Gut Check match. Exciting. The first 2 versions of the Gut Check.
That works. Okay.
Yeah, the first version of the Gut Check was Alex Silva, a wrestler who accomplished literally nothing in his career.
Not a damn thing.
Besides this, had his tryout match, was universally voted yes to be signed, and then again did nothing.
Wait. I just realized there's an extra layer of fucked to this. So you're scheduled, to wrestle a worked match, and then they decide. Wouldn't there possibly be some bias on like, whoever ends up winning, like looking better? Wouldn't it be harder for the person who isn't like scheduled to go over to like make themselves look really good? Like, this seems stupid on a lot of levels.
Yeah. I mean, tryout matches exist and have existed forever, of course, but those usually happen like before the show or like as dark matches.
Yeah,
you don't air this on television,
and you don't have
on television,
and you don't have a committee of 3 on-screen Well, I guess Bruce Pritchard probably wasn't on screen, but like you don't have like a random committee of like 3 dudes on the spot decide on that person's employment status after 1 tryout match. What?
Yeah, it's weird. The second incarnation of the second the second edition of pre-Invincible. So he's now just kind of a cocky, flamboyant dude. They Austin Aries and the committee was kind of like, and they're like, I think we see the talent here, but we don't have attitude. And then voting no, because it basically goes Pritchard votes no, Al Snow votes yes, even if he doesn't like Joey. And then it comes down to Taz, and Joey Ryan cuts a promo to kind of sell himself, and he just mostly comes off like an arrogant twat. And so Taz is like, you know what? For that,
What?
I don't like the cut of
hell?
your jib. And then backstage at and then the next week they do a promo where Joey Ryan is like bitching to the camera about how he's such a hot prospect that they let go and all these people here are stupid.
That's so insane. This is all so insane. This is all really fucking insane.
Yep, and you're going to get to experience this insanity yourself because we are doing the gimmick on this series of episodes.
So much is happening. What the fuck?
Anyway, Joey Ryan hasn't been back, so they apparently didn't actually sign him. You'd think that if they were running a gimmick like this, they would like sign him to continue an angle here, but apparently not.
But no, fuck you.
Yeah, and then he won't be back in Impact until he is like an established. Well, he's pretty established on the Indies now, but he'll get viral for the dick suplex thing, and then he'll come back to Impact on a regular basis.
Good.
Exciting. He'll be part of a group called Cancel Culture, which was exactly what you think it is.
Oh, come on.
Well, that's not true. That's not true. He plays the canceler. He is not canceled. He cancels other people.
Either way, though. Oh my god.
And then speaking out would happen, and he would get fired, and yada yada yada.
Yada yada.
Anyway, that's gut check. So want to throw that in there.
Cool.
Then they main event the show with Jeremy Borash introducing the Hall of Fame induction video for Sting. And then Sting comes out and like cuts a promo, like saying how great it is. That was one of the greatest moments of his career. And, he had a great match with Bobby Roode, and he's so thankful for this Hall of Fame induction. Blah blah blah. Anyway, a bunch of masked men hit the ring. In the middle of all this Claire Lynch bullshit, we're also going to get the start of Aces and Eights.
Yeah, I've heard about this, and I've heard that it's stupid, and I know nothing else.
So basically, the gimmick is NWO if it was like Sons of Anarchy.
So bikers?
Yes, it's a biker. They're a biker gang that is taking over this locker room. And nobody knows the identities of most of the biker gang. Like the reveals of who are the members of Aces and Eights becomes like a plot beat. And it actually, for the first 9 months, is actually considered pretty good. It's the last 9 months. It also falls into the NWO problem of being way, way, way too long.
I make fun of Eric Bischoff for having exactly one idea in WCW with the NWO. It's really good and assuring to know that when he went over to TNA, he also only had one idea the entire time.
Like, guys,
and that was the NWO.
Let's do the NWO. But Sons of Anarchy had started airing by this point. It started and it got really popular.
And also let's tank our ratings. Let's just tank our ratings while we're at it, please.
Yes. So delightful. I would also go into the fact that let's say that they didn't quite have a Hall, Nash, and Hogan to be in the NWO.
They
but
have a Hogan.
Why spoil the
They have a Sting.
Surprises. Why spoil all the fun surprises of who is actually in the Aces and Eights quite yet?
I am very concerned.
Yeah, so that's the big main event ending angle is Sting getting beaten down by 3 masked men and absolutely nobody helping him, because he might be, even though that everyone talked in the video package about how awesome and like inspiring Sting was, and well,
fuck
we're still not gonna save him or anything. That's what I thought. If you would like to watch along with us, watch the June 21st, 2012 episode of Impact, you can do that on Impact Plus. I don't think, I mean, it might be too, but I haven't seen it. But I and David we are going to be watching on Impact Plus, which is Impact's service.
Yes.
They have almost all of the TV now. They're in the middle of they have everything up to 2013, 2015, and 16. And then like from past, I think like a March of 2016, they have everything up to now, as well as all the pay-per-views. So they have most of TNA history here. And obviously everything that we're going to be covering on this arc.
Yes.
So
that 2012 catalog is nice and full, baby.
Yep. So we will be back in the back half to discuss the June 21st, 2012 episode TNA Impact.
Holy shit.
And we are back. We have finished the June 21st, 2012 episode of TNA Impact.
That we did.
Yep.
I have to say, whatever I was expecting based on the limited information you gave me, it was not this.
Yes, okay. So I want to preface this from the beginning is I know all the twists and turns of this stupid arc. I have to be able to do the podcast.
Correct. That's how it works.
There is nothing I'm more excited about than getting your feelings on this storyline as we go along with it, knowing that you know nothing about it. You don't know any of the twists, and I am so ready.
Wait, hold up. Twists, plural.
Yeah, obviously it's not just the one twist. That would be, if it was just this one twist, we wouldn't make a whole arc out of it. There's too much. I don't know.
It's a pretty fucked up twist. I could get mileage out of just this on its own.
No, we got more to go. Don't worry about it.
Oh, good. So, this is an episode all about airing dirty laundry, shall we say.
That actually, now that you say it, that fits in really well with the open fight night concept, which is a lot of like, I'm calling out people I got beef with. Fuck you.
You know, that's fair.
It thematically works.
Yeah, it's like poetry. It rhymes. So,
exactly.
And I feel like this moment we're going to get to at the end is a true, I don't want to oversell it. It feels like a bit of a spit take moment, but I'm not going to coordinate a whole spit take. I've done one of those on this show before. Instant regret. Didn't even mean to do it on purpose. Never do it again. Made for a very funny moment, though. Yeah. So, in that theme, I am going to treat this as if I were a housewife, or I suppose a house husband, and I had my TNA, my stories, if you will, on in the background. Well, I do chores waiting for my hot, flexible, bread-winning wife to
come. You better make sure you have dinner on first.
Yeah, well, it might get burned with how shit ends here. But so I am going to be spending this. This is very stupid because this will not translate to audio. I'm going to be spending this episode folding some laundry so that I can get A little bit thematic with it, and B,
I'm glad I'm not the
so I
only
can
one
get
who
my
has.
chores done.
I'm glad I'm
Legitimately.
not the only
And
one who has.
C,
I'm glad I'm not the only one who has a prop that isn't going to translate to audio.
hey, that's to be fair, Austin. That is how props on a podcast work.
I
That's
guess.
not like people can see them. So
Yeah, we're adding prop bits to the podcast. Let us know in the
let us know what you think about it.
How you think about that?
Hey Cam, I know you're listening. Message me what you think about the props. And then so I can have a proper have this on in the background, and then what the fuck I'm in this all of a sudden moment at the end. All right. So all that in mind, let's do this. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. First thing starts off. We get a previously on Impact.
Yeah.
They've been doing that,
and
they've been doing that since I've been watching it, and I fucking love it.
Did not realize that I had accidentally, again, himbo house husband, did not realize I'd accidentally switched to fucking TLC to catch one of their reality shows with this previously on ass narration that they have going.
Yeah, man, it was awesome.
I didn't dislike it necessarily, but I was also like, it feels like I'm actually tuning into an episode of, I don't know, fucking Cake Boss. What do the kids watch today? I don't know.
But basically, the previously on segment covers James Storm and his like coming back from being on the ranch, playing with his cows or whatever, and now
that sounds dirty.
And now he's back, and he's at the top of the Bound for Glory series leaderboard after winning the battle royal that was worth 20 points.
Oh, that explains something later. I kind of missed that part. I was just like, I was literally just checking the fucking like stream to make sure I was watching the right thing. Okay, cool.
Yes, the battle royal bonus match was worth 20, which is twice as much as any one individual match can theoretically be worth.
Every little bit of new info I get about how the fuck the Bound for Glory series works, the stupider it gets. Like, I was willing to kind of go off to bat for the concept, and then it just keeps getting more convoluted.
There is a part of this concept that I really like when we get to it. They did, but we will get there. And then they also explain the Austin Aries. He's got to make a choice. Is he gonna give up the belt for a shot at the world title?
Yes, he's been offered this opportunity by Hulk Hogan, and now he needs to make a decision.
Yep. And then sparklers. May
I say the fucking the pyro at the beginning felt rhythmic? Like, it felt like it was going like bum ba da bum ba da bum ba da bum. It's almost like a drum beat. It was cool as fuck. I actually got down with that.
And then I thought we moved away from 1997, and walk it to wah wah.
Yeah, it is pitch shifted and slower. This, Austin, this is like peak 2012 nostalgia bait Hogan. He's
Hogan
such a
is hot dogging and grandstanding, brother.
Like, he's got the NWO theme and the NWO colors, but he's acting like Hulk Hogan vanilla flavor, and it's oh my god, it's so like, this was such a fucking vanity project for you prick. Such a mishmash. He's just going for the ring.
Well, you know something, sometimes when you ask for change, you better be ready for it. Because when change happens, you make some friends and you make some enemies along the way. And Hogan says that what happened last week with the Stinger was unprecedented. And we will find out who those men are. We will find you. But they will not be getting any more publicity.
I feel like Hogan should have a lot more like experience than I feel like he should have a lot more knowledge about fake stings. You'd think after all this time he'd have learned how to deal with an epidemic of fake stings. It just keeps haunting him, his nightmares.
It's both the Bound for Glory series and open fight night tonight. With Bound for Glory and open fight night, anything can happen. But Hogan, he came out there because he told Austin Aries at 8 o'clock he needed to tell him if he was going to go for greatness or go for broke. And it's a little after 8, brother. And I'm waiting for an answer, dude.
Also, I saw some kid in the crowd, like they're Hogan's cutting this promo and they're panning over the crowd. I saw some kid that I swear to God looks like he's wearing Darby Allin makeup. That's not possible temporally, but I swear to God, he's got a fucking half skull on his face, and I want to know why.
Yeah.
Huh? Whoops.
Yeah, but Hulk Hogan on the Brother Jack Dude-a-meter
it's off the charts.
Maxed out tonight,
and these,
brother.
Again, max nostalgia bait Hogan. Fucking, and these indie ass marks are just so hyped to see him. They are losing their motherfucking minds for every Brother Jack and Dude that comes out of that deeply terrible man's mouth.
But then, speaking of deeply terrible men, Austin Aries comes out.
True.
To answer the challenge. There's big Austin Aries chance, and he's like, "Yes, I know my name. Thank you.
I know my name. Thank you very much." That's funny.
Aries says that Hogan has presented him with an interesting opportunity.
Wait. I do want to point out before he says that, Hogan goes for the handshake when Aries gets in the ring, and Aries says no, business first. Bitch, as if 75% of business is not just handshakes. All right, you're not hot shit yet. Calm the fuck down. I command you.
Well, I mean, the guy calls himself the greatest man who ever lived, so you know.
Yeah, how is this not a heel persona?
I don't know, but apparently it's not. I don't understand that.
Apparently
anyway,
it's over.
Yeah, Hogan presented him an opportunity, a chance to bypass all the Bound for Glory people. We're just openly talking about how we are currently having a 12-man tournament to determine a title shot, and then Aries gets to just cut the line in the front of all of that.
I know, all this convoluted shit, and Aries just, actually, no, fuck you, I'm still first in line ahead of all of you. So, all this convoluted shit for a second contender.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Have you heard what's been going on all week? Have you heard what these people want you to do, brother? Aries says he has two options. He can take Hogan's deal and challenge Rude, or option B, keep the X Division Championship and continue being the most dominant champion in TNA. That feels wrong when Rude is the longest reigning champion in the company, but okay. Well, now here's the thing. Option A should be a no-brainer. Everyone wants to ascend to the top. On the other hand, this X Division title was the title this company was built on. They're trying so hard to say this belt is equal to the world title, and maybe at one point it was. 2012, no way, brother.
2012, mid-card ass shit.
Aries says he's afraid if he just hands his title over, it'll mean nothing. So he tried to think of a way to make sure this belt became as valuable as it's ever been.
Oh my God. No way.
He came up with option C.
And Hogan is like incensed by this. Hogan is like, whoa, now.
Wait a minute, brother. I laid it out nice and straight for you.
We've established in the back, brother. All ideas are my ideas. What the fuck are you trying to do here, dude?
Hogan says he has too much respect for the X Division. X to doubt. Absolutely not.
Real. Absolutely real.
To let Aries be a double champion. So if Aries has an option C, he better be one hell of a visionary and lay it out real straight for him, brother, because I don't play games.
And Aries says, actually, option C, my idea to make the X Division belt more prestigious is to
make it so everyone can always cash in.
To turn it into glorified Money in the fucking Bank. Are you shitting me?
Yeah, we've called it option C before because that's what the term is called. Like it's now known as option C, and now we know why. Is Aries' brilliant idea is option A, except everyone can do it, not just him.
Yeah, and Hulk Hogan goes, "Wow, brother, that's actually a really genius idea, dude."
Yeah, okay. Aries does clarify that it only can happen going into Destination X.
Again, glorified money in the fucking bank
it's the
once
money
a
in
year.
the bank you can cash in once a year only.
Yes.
And Hogan says, Aries, he's as quick. You're quick on your feet as you are in your mind, dude. I'm in.
I am so surprised they actually got Hogan to say that. Then again, Hogan's gonna go in the back and be like, "Well, yeah, I told Aries to say that. That was my idea all along, brother."
Yeah, brother. But then Bobby Roode, are you two freaking kidding me?
Bobby Roode is here to be very unpleasant toward Hogan and Aries.
Bobby Roode asks Aries who he thinks he is, thinking he can dictate what happens in his company. And the crowd
also,
is like riling up Roode.
Hold the fuck up. So Aries comes out here in like nice pants, a sports jacket, you know, like a t-shirt underneath. Bobby Roode comes out here like in fucking like full ass suit. Why all these dudes around here really love wearing suits? Does Impact have like a backstage dress code? What the fuck? Why are they just casually walking around in suits? Now, granted, I casually walk around in suits sometimes. It makes me feel nice. However,
Roode says that little paper championship he wears means nothing to him. This belt right here is the real world championship. And Roode says Aries has made the biggest mistake of his life. He is no X Division wrestler. He is God's gift to professional wrestling, the It Factor, the longest reigning world champion in company history, and he will prove it at Destination X.
Destination X known. Anyway,
I do know it's not Destination Unknown. We're going to X.
I mean, to be fair, X is a variable. Indirectly, that is Destination Unknown.
Gasp.
Ahaha. So Aries is like, all right, bitch, it's open fight night. Let's fucking go right now.
Why don't you log on down here and embarrass me right now?
Yeah. And so he's like, okay, sure. For some reason, this does not turn into an official open fight night match, even though Austin Aries just effectively declared it as one.
That does sound pretty open fight nighty, but we got 8 matches to do on this episode. We don't have time for another.
But we don't have to. Clearly, this shit's being booked on the fly in kayfabe.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yes.
But Aries
go at
and
each
Roode,
other. All the refs have to separate them.
Yeah, Aries when he gets separated, you can hear him yelling, "Piece of shit! Come on, you ain't tough."
Yeah. And they say Bobby Roode is the tactless one. I'm trying to avoid the obvious pun here. But then
Mr. Anderson.
Yeah, so Mr. Anderson comes out. Turns out we got like a lot of plot cooking here.
We do. Guys, I could sit and watch you two pound the snot out of each other. And by all means, when I'm finished, please continue. Anderson says he doesn't care who wins at Destination X because the man from Green Bay, Wisconsin, Mr. Anderson.
You ever wonder if he ever got close to like saying the wrong name? Like he'd been saying Mr. Kennedy for so long. There's got to be, you slip up at some point, right?
Well, it helps that it's just his own actual name. So it's like all I got to do is say my real name.
But can you imagine if on one of his like name pops he accidentally said Kennedy? That would be really funny.
I actually really enjoyed this whole segment after Hogan and Aries stopped sucking each other off.
I did too.
Like Roode, I loved Roode. Roode is kind of awesome here.
I don't have context for Bobby Roode outside of this. like I'm not getting a whole lot of character. Like he's kind of Batista-esque to me right now, but
Sure, that's fair.
Decent first impression. Like I'm like, all right, this is a guy that can work a mic. He's clearly physically impressive. I would be interested in seeing more of him. Sort of thing.
And they're interweaving stuff here because they're like, is with Mr. Anderson coming in to be like, yeah, whatever, I don't really care which of you's winning.
Well, okay, so this is even more wild. So Anderson also is in line for the belt. So really, winner of the Bound for Glory series is like 2 contenderships back.
No, he's saying that he's going to win the BFG series, and that's why he's in contention.
Oh, okay. Yes, he did. For some reason, I thought he just also had a contendership.
No, he's just saying he's going to win the BFG series, and I got to applaud a man who can get a pop line out of his own hometown. Like,
yeah,
anyone can just say the name of the place they're currently in and get a pop for it. This man gets a pop for saying where he's from.
Absolutely. Yeah, those motherfuckers were very excited to shout out Green Bay, man. You know, I respect it. Yeah, there are no matches pre-booked for tonight. Open fight night.
No, there's 2 matches they pre-booked. The women's matches are caniacally already booked.
Oh, well, yeah, one of them being the fucking gut
check. And then the women's, and then it was known there would be a women's title match. There would
be a women's title match. It's just not. Yeah. I did kind of wonder, like, what's the backstage protocol for open fight night? Like, does everybody have to be there?
Yes.
Do you just draw your name in a lottery? Like,
they talk about this because they talked about this last time they did open fight night. Is it like every member of the roster is required to show up in gear just in case?
And yet both Bobby Roode and Austin Aries get to just walk around in full ass suits.
Don't think about that too hard. Open fight night is an absolute cheese of a concept, and the more you think about the logistics of it, the less it makes sense. So don't.
Somebody just really wanted to make an open mic night pun. That was all this was, and they worked backwards from there.
Yup. I did make a note because I was like, seems like I made a joke in my notes that couldn't you just challenge whoever in the locker room, whether they're in the BFG series or not? But apparently, no, you can only challenge BFG series people because everyone sticks to that.
So I guess this.
Hence my note down here. It's open fight night except when it isn't. It's open fight night except you can only challenge one of 11 other people.
Yeah. So actually, the whole locker room did not need to show up this time. Only fucking BFG dudes. Great.
And also, how do you determine? This is less of a thing with this episode because all the open fight nights are BFG matches. How do you determine who's allowed to go out there and call someone out? Like, how does that get broken up in kayfabe here?
That's a great question. You think they have a lottery? You think you put your name in a hat? Or
do you have to argue to Hogan and be like, I want to call someone out?
Oh my God. Honestly, probably. Definitely got to go backstage and politic to Hogan a little bit. Or maybe you just when it's open fight night time, everybody fucking rushes for the door and whoever kicks enough other dudes in the nuts first and makes it out there wins.
Could also be the case.
You look, they still have much to stipulate on, okay?
But anyway, Anderson says that he wants to challenge a guy who has the balls to attempt to destroy a man's family. Christopher Daniels, get your ass out here.
Christopher Daniels backstage sipping on an apple teeny.
And
Taz goes, hey, you better put down that apple teeny. And Christopher Daniels, Taz is on commentary. And Christopher Daniels, I guess hearing him over the TV monitor they're watching, goes, I'm not putting down my drink. Screw that. And he just walks out, apple teeny in hand.
He does put it down to have the match, but it was absolutely amazing. He just refused to leave the drink unattended.
Man, I kind of wish that he had tried to keep the Appletini afloat for the whole match. That would have been so funny.
It's not that it's impossible to do. I watched an Orange Cassidy versus Colt Cabana match where the entire conceit of the match is Orange Cassidy didn't want to put his beer down, and so he wrestles holding the beer in his hand and desperately trying to not lose it.
That's incredible. Holy shit. So yes, it is Mr. Kennedy, I did it. Mr.
Anderson.
By the way, why does he say his name twice? He goes, Mr. Anderson. Why does he say his name twice?
Because that's what he did in the WWE. Because he did Mr. Kennedy.
Why did he do it in the WWE?
I assume it's I assume it's like an echo effect joke of he's echoing.
Wait,
he just says,
no,
I don't know. I just know that he does it in WWE. He goes, Kennedy. So now he's got to do Anderson.
So it's Mr. Anderson versus Christopher Daniels, and Christopher Daniels is Appletini. Apparently Joseph Park Esquire.
Joseph Park is in the crowd, guys.
He is in the audience watching. The lawyer man.
They're just so obsessed with this one guy being in the audience.
We also learn that on top of everything from all the weird points shit, there is a 10-minute time limit on Bound for Glory matches. Why are there so many rules?
I like that, actually, because first of all, it's a play on the G1 rules, which have 30-minute time limits, and then they cut that down this year to 20 minutes to make it a little quick because they have more rest matches and more people. But I kind of like the idea of putting a strict time limit on it. It makes the matches go super de-duper fast, and it also does help solve one of the problems I mentioned with doing a G1 tournament on television. Is that's so much in-ring wrestling to devote on a per episode basis to make it feel even remotely like the G1. Requiring all the matches to be short but sweet helps fix that problem.
This is true. I will confess myself at a bit of a crossroads here. I'm not sure how I feel about all of these sprint matches, because it feels like a weird purgatory between WWE style wrestling and AEW style wrestling, and specifically 90s 2000s WWE with short ass matches, but they do got work rate though.
It's not we've seen mid 2000s WWE to early 2010s WWE. Their TV matches are short, and also everyone starts just working rest holds they don't have only 5 minutes, and so you can just start doing things. You don't have to slow it down. But I guess
I did appreciate that. But as a boy who enjoys some longer matches, it's also and we're seeing these really cool matchups. I'm like, God, give me something a little more here.
I feel like it's a very specifically 2012 TNA ability to be able to make this work, right? Because if you try to do this now, you run into two issues. Of one, a lot of hardcore fans know what the G1 is now, and they know that it's this is where you're going to have a bunch of match of the year contender matches. And so if you try to sit there and be 10-minute limit, bro, people would be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And also if AEW tried to do this and do 10-minute matches, people would be like, hey, yo, what the fuck?
Why do these be so short though?
Right, TNA wasn't known for 20-minute work rate matches. Even peak X Division stuff did kind of top out at about 10 minutes on TV. They knew how to pack it in a short amount of time. And the G1 is in 2012 something that the really, really hardcores know about.
Yeah.
TNA had the relationship with New Japan, and it was a good idea to take from New Japan, but a lot of the wrestling audience wasn't really familiar with the G1 to be like, hey, yo, these are some short-ass matches you're doing here for a G1 knockoff concept.
Yeah.
So I like the 10-minute sprints. If for nothing else, it's kind of new for us on the podcast.
Yeah. I don't necessarily dislike them. I do enjoy. Okay, I feel like I'm having a ever evolving opinion on the Bound for Glory series. I I think like I enjoy some convoluted shit, and I can appreciate kind of what they're going for with trying to make this feel like a legitimate uh really technical tournament. Um I think the point scoring is a little overboard. Like there are a few too many categories when you're probably not going to get that kind of variety in the
Yeah, and it's
matches.
hard, and it's harder for people to keep up with. Like that
It
was the
feels like
concern.
wasting your resources. It's harder for people to come up with. Um
Like
and also I
G1
do like
G1 already perfected the concept, which was stealing from soccer. 2
yeah.
points for a win. How many wins they got? They got 4 wins. Okay, they got 8 points.
Yeah. And there are a couple other flaws I'll talk about later on a more technical level, but I do appreciate the kind of desperate energy there is to the BFG series. It does feel like a big grand once a year scramble for a big opportunity. And I can appreciate that in concept. In execution, I think it's a little clunky, and it leaves the episode feeling a little too empty for me. I don't hate the 10-minute sprints, but when it's an episode of entirely 10-minute sprints, I'm like, I need a little something a little more.
Yeah, I think I get why they booked it this way. Is they wanted to kind of get everyone a match on the board and take advantage of the open fight night gimmick and build the drama of picking from who's left kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But it's definitely the story episode is hurt by the fact that there's basically no other there's 2 other plot lines going on besides the BFG series, and the BFG series is just matches.
Yes.
And it's a story light episode. And I don't think it's going to be like this every single week, every single time. But a common criticism of the BFG series is that so much time is in-ring time is devoted to the BFG series relative to anything else happening.
And it keeps things feeling a little bit homogenous.
Anyway, Daniels and Anderson was a fun sprint to me.
Yeah, they were.
I had trouble keeping up with notes. I was out here trying to do beat by beat like I do for most matches, and I was like, Jesus Christ!
I immediately gave up on any semblance of match notes.
I definitely calmed down a little bit as time went on, but first match I was like, all right, let's try to do this, and then I tried it, and I'm like, oh shit, not happening. Yeah, I mean, these guys are just going back and forth, a lot of strikes, a lot of trying to get in holds. They do sell, I think, on this episode the idea of more points for submissions. So a few people are trying to do submissions because they want the bonus points.
Yeah, I'll talk about this a little more when we get to the Kurt Angle match. On commentary, meanwhile, they're plugging the Impact Facebook page.
Oh,
yes. The real winner there. And their Twitter hashtag. Not their Twitter account to follow.
Well, yeah, the only Twitter account that TNA ever pushed was Dixie's account. TNA Dixie, they would always hype her Twitter, but they're not like TNA Twitter. Absolutely not.
That's so... yes, because when I want to really dig in with the IWC, what do I follow? A fucking Facebook page. Oh, yeah, baby. That's the stuff right there.
Man,
and
text your friends. Tweet your followers. TNA is now live at 8 because they did
stand up for Impact.
Yeah, they're doing the gimmick now. In the last couple of weeks, they moved to now they were a tape show that aired at 9. Now they are a live weekly show airing at 8. I'm sure TNA could really afford that kind of expenses, just like they can afford regular touring. Totally.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
Anyway.
And going up against Raw. Just email your grandma about it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, email your grandma. She'll call you a fucking mark again.
She's like, didn't we go through this already?
Yes.
Oh my god. Taz on commentary says Anderson isn't feeling uh so Taz is like, Anderson isn't really feeling what CD is doing to ruin people's lives. But also, that's really Dixie and AJ's fault at the end of the day. I'm just fucking saying. Taz is out here like ready to play therapist for Dixie and AJ. Like he's like, well, really, it's their fault. Really, somebody should talk to them about that. I should talk to them about this. Are you okay?
I wish that we didn't. I almost wish that this plot beat had been pushed back a week, so that we could have Taz trying to do an intervention.
Bro, I'm just saying, I think sometimes the in-ring talk show shit can be annoying. I think a lot of the times in-ring talk show segments can be annoying. However, would I mark the hell out if we got a therapist couch segment from Taz, from the Tasmaniac? Absolutely the fuck I would.
Yes.
So you're saying he punched you in the yam bags. How did that make you
yam
feel?
bags? Yes. So Dixie, you've seen AJ's yam bags.
No, I have.
Got that right?
Oh, come on. We've all seen AJ's yam bags. You don't gotta. I've seen AJ's yam bags plenty of times. There's no shame in it. This is a no judgment zone, all right? Unless you wear an orange, then I fucking hate you.
That's true. That's gimmick infringement.
And I will have to bill you extra.
Yeah. But basically the match ends. Anderson goes for the mic check, which is a big
Which,
slam
of
move
course,
at the
his
end.
fucking finisher is called the mic check.
The mic check, that's correct.
Yeah.
Christopher Daniels counters. He hits a blue thunder bomb, which is kind of a spinning sit-out power bomb. 2 count. Anderson is going to set up for the Arabian moonsault. But Anderson rolls him up for a 2 count. Then a swinging neck breaker by Mr. Anderson into the mic check. Anderson wins, and he gets 7 points.
Yeah, see, here's the thing. I didn't realize that every single... When they said 10-minute time limit, I didn't realize early on that every single match in this episode was going to end up being a 5-minute sprint as a result. So in my notes, I called this squash-ass shit. Knowing that, oh no, this is de rigueur for this evening.
Yeah, it is not. Okay. And don't worry, guys, about keeping track. About who has how many points. We'll come back to.
We'll just put up an overly big leaderboard. We'll just a complex, way too long leaderboard throughout the episode. It's fine.
Well, you see, that's why I thought it would be a little cumbersome to do that. So I have brought this handy whiteboard. Let me see if I can get it. I don't know if I can get it. Yes, got it in.
Oh my.
Yes, the lamps are great. I have here for the audio only viewers a BFG Series leaderboard with all the names written and all the point totals. We will be keeping that up to date as we go along.
The Bound for Glory series where everything is made up and the points don't matter.
If anything, the points matter too much.
Well, that too.
So backstage. Dixie, oh, sorry, just something else?
No, yeah, Dixie and AJ. AJ Styles, with a clean-shaven face and short hair, is so weird.
You're so used to him having, like, a goatee and soccer mom hair, and I don't think you...
You didn't need to read him that hard, Jesus.
Now this is just this little baby face with his buzz cut AJ.
Man, I need a tier list of wrestlers like this, where it's like wrestlers who I'm used to having like long hair and beards, not doing that. I need a tier list. Fucking, AJ Styles, Bryan Danielson, Chris Jericho. All of them, spoiler alert, all of them are in F tier. What the fuck? Why do you look like that? Stop it.
All right, but Dixie is asking AJ if he's ready. And so she's like, don't look at me that way. You're ready, right? We're doing the right thing.
And the way this is shot, it feels like a kind of like
Okay.
slightly covert shot
They
again.
do. Okay, that is
from-
intentional. Is TNA love to film their backstage stuff as candid camera, COVID, TMZ shit. You know, the idea that the wrestlers don't know they're being filmed. And
yeah, so I love the fact that you said you just in kayfabe have camera guys that are like peeking around corners. So the way that's framed also feels like a fucking reality show. So I wrote in my notes, apparently we really are on a TLC reality show. And then
yeah, so AJ,
speaking of fucking TLC ass reality show framing, oh my god.
Oh, is this about the knockouts
like,
stuff or okay? Because I was just like go through this. AJ is like he doesn't care about Daniels and Kazarian. Dixie says it's never been about those guys. They wouldn't have kept it going so long if it were. AJ has last minute doubts. Dixie says they've gone over every possibility. Like AJ's like maybe there's another way. And Dixie's like, what do you mean? And AJ's like, I don't know, man. I just thought there's another way. Every single one of these vignettes, knowing where this goes, is so fascinating. This is like TNA makes this look like we're talking about an affair. And I guess spoilers, we're not. It's actually much crazier than that.
Oh, yeah.
But every single promo, backstage bit, piece of evidence from Christopher Daniels, every single part would make a rational human being think this is about an affair.
Well, because of course, AJ and Dixie are apparently Achu allergic to speaking in any kind of specifics about this.
They do. They are. Not even to that's funny to me is that even to each other, they're talking like this is actually an affair. Like none of that, like they're not candid with each other, even though they both know what's happening right now.
And like Dixie's the like president, right? Why doesn't she get any kind of privilege to get to like, I don't know, step away from the candid cameras so she knows she has privacy enough to talk about this? Like, what the none of this it's fine.
It made enough sense until it stopped making sense, but we will get to that later. But anyway, yes, the knockouts are hanging out in Brooke Hogan's office.
Why?
Which is actually Hulk Hogan's office that Brooke Hogan has taken over for the evening.
Well, obviously that's Brooke Hogan's entire career in wrestling.
Well, hey, Brooke, just make sure. Hey, Brooke, you can make sure that you can get me the key back to my office later tonight, dude.
Daddy, can I have a bit of office space for Christmas?
Oh yeah, sure you can, brother. I'll get you. You can. But in the meantime, you can hang out in my office, dude. We're absolutely entering it into the canon that Hulk Hogan calls his own daughter brother and dude.
And Jack. Don't forget
Jack.
My name's Brooke. Shut up, Jack. Yeah, Austin. Why are we watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians? Why are we?
This
Why is it framed like this? Why is it framed like an actual honest to God reality show?
It's so weird, honestly.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like it, and sometimes this is just like okay.
Also, like, man, I hate how much I can tell that Brooke Hogan is her father's daughter. Like, there is the slightest bit of physical resemblance that pops out at you at the most disorienting time.
Just the way I like it, brother.
And all of a sudden, you see Hulk Hogan's face on a woman's body, and you get jump scared by it.
Yeah, all right.
And you're like, what?
Brooke is like, well, tonight's a very big night, dude. And it's just like, I have ODB. I haven't had a chance to meet you, dude, but you clearly having a blast with that flash, brother.
I can't confirm. Brooke Hogan, it is just Hulk Hogan in drag. He does. That it's so simple, but that might be one of your best bits you've ever come up with on this show. It's so
Will I keep up? Will I keep up with it? I don't know.
You should.
So Brooke wants to hear everyone's pitches for why they really want this title shot against Miss Tessmacher. And by the way, I'll just go ahead and get this out of the way. If the name Miss Tessmacher sounds familiar to anyone, that's the name of Lex Luthor's assistant secretary in the original Superman movies. She was named because of that. So it'd be like Miss Tessmacher. That's all I can think about when I ever hear the name.
The DC nerd has entered the chat. I see.
Anyway, so ODB is like, well, I'm different from any other knockout. And she like makes fun of Madison Rain's little crown that she wears on her head. And this was a funny exchange to me. Is ODB goes, oh, what pageant did you win? And Madison Rain goes, all of them. Miss America.
The only one, actually.
The only one that Madison knows.
Yeah.
Miss America. But I just love what pageant did you win? All of them.
All of them, Miss America.
But Madison Rain mentioned she had the title for forever. She was the longest reigning Knockouts champion before this moment.
Yeah.
And then Mickie James is like, yeah, well, who beat you? You know? And Brooke Hogan is like, well, somebody is a bit too focused on their Mr. Imaginary Friend there, dude. They need to get focused, brother.
Yeah. Brooke Hogan basically spends the entire night axing people for having too much personal baggage, dude.
Yeah. She gives Madison some advice she got from her dad, brother. Make your work your boyfriend.
Man, this line.
Hulk Hogan absolutely said this to Brooke unironically.
Considering what else we know about Hulk Hogan's opinions on Brooke Hogan's dating life,
we have got to watch the Hulk Hogan reality show.
I guarantee you that without a shred of doubt in my mind, Hulk Hogan told his daughter, for real, to make work her boyfriend. He saw her getting a little too buddy-buddy with some undesirables, and he goes, now wait a second, dude. Don't forget to make work your brother, Jack. And she goes, well, that's a great point, brother.
Anyway, so Velvet Sky is like, well, I never got a title rematch for when I won the title and lost the title. And then Mickey's like, I'm the greatest female wrestler in the world. I have won every prestigious title known to womankind.
Yes, naturally.
And Madison Rain pipes up again at being the longest reigning champion. And Brooke is just so annoyed at Madison Rain. She's like so angry with her over like her being interested in a guy.
Yeah, again, like I don't get like this. What I'm so lost as to what the fuck is going on in general because I don't have context. And like
even with context, I don't understand the animosity with Madison Rain. Like Brooke takes it like it's a personal offense that Madison Rain is like chasing dudes.
Well, you got to be focused on the business, brother.
So Madison is like, Miss Tessmacher, she's been practicing every single week. And ODB's like, well, she should be. She's been in the business for a cup of coffee.
Thank you. ODB's firing shots.
Yeah, but Brooke tells Madison Rain to focus up a bit more. She's not ready for tonight, dude. And so Madison just leaves. It's like, fine.
Madison gets not even like fully eliminated. She just leaves. Okay.
And Brooke says she's got, she has one more elimination to make later tonight. ODB's like, can we like stay in here? He's like, hang out in here.
Yeah. They're like, can we just vibe? And Brooke's like, I don't know. I'll have to think about that, brother. So we cut to the ring with Robbie E, who I have no idea who this is, but I must say, man's got some drip. I like the cut of his jib. Who the fuck is this?
Like, he's Jersey Shore guy. I talked about that.
Oh, okay. It's this guy. Got it. I'm very bad.
Robbie E. He says he is not scared of any of a single person in the BFG series. He's more jacked than anyone in it, and I mean, no one can pull off this tan. And so Robbie E. was challenging any gerbil in the back to get punked by Big Rob.
Yeah, so Robbie E. for Open Fight Night puts out an open challenge, which I guess that's a thing you can do.
This is this is open squared.
This is open, yeah, openception, truly. And of course,
and then Kurt Angle's like, LOL, all right, I'll do it. It's just fucking Robbie E.
I feel like I was a little more justified in calling this one squash ass shit.
Oh no, it was. Almost immediately, Kurt Angle hits 3 German suplexes, the angle slam, and then the ankle lock for 10 points and the win.
I will say, as goofy as it is to issue an open challenge on Open Fight Night, where the whole point is calling out someone specific, it does add slightly fun stakes of like being locked into fighting whoever answers you. Which is especially funny with like, Angle squashing the shit out of a goofy heel like this. So yeah, I Angle just goes to town immediately. I put in my notes, that's got to be a record straps drop from Angle. Like within 10 seconds, the straps on his singlet are both down. That's got to be a new record. And okay, this is where I need to talk about one more thing. So technicians in the BFG just have an advantage.
They do.
No reason.
Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, like they both have submissions as their regular finishers.
Yeah.
No one else in the let me look at my list. Yeah, no one else in the BFG uses submission moves on a regular basis. So they're just getting free extra point opportunities here. That's another reason why making submissions worth more than pins is dumb.
Yeah. The bias becomes immediately apparent when Angle's able to lock in the angle lock on this jobber ass motherfucker like that, and you're like, okay.
I get a feeling that Robbie E is going to be eating a lot of pins in this BFG series. Don't know why I get that sense.
Certain. Yeah, really? Nah. I think he's going all the way to the top, baby. Okay. So, gut check time. We hear from Taylor Hendricks, who is the newest fucking candidate in the gut check series. And again, the reality show, I feel like I'm broken record, but the reality show hits keep on coming. As in true, like, hopeful contender to a reality competition show fashion, she reveals that she's a cancer survivor. Holy shit.
Okay. My note is video profile on Taylor Hendricks. Let's see if anything not cliche or interesting is in here.
Well, again,
and then she immediately says the thing about being a cancer survivor at 21.
Which I do have to say though, the way she says it is very funny to me. It's all because the way she talks about it, she almost seems to brush it off like, I was so over dramatic about it. I was so young, I didn't know it was just cancer. Like she almost seems like brush it off, and I'm like, Jesus,
Yeah. I'll be honest, I was a little excited about this one because, like, I play a lot of EWR, Extreme Warfare Revenge. It's basically a booking simulator.
Yeah.
And so I have run all women's game saves before. And, like, Taylor Hendricks is a name I'm familiar with for that specifically. Because she's one of those, like, in the games, like in the save that in the custom save files I've used that use like real wrestlers from more up-to-date years, because the original game is set in like 2004. Taylor Hendricks is a name that always pops up as like a low carder with like decent stats. So I'm like, she's a good pickup. Get there for the low card. And so like I've never watched Taylor Hendricks before like right now, but I do know that name.
She's big OVW. Had some time in ROH. Queens.
Not a very prodigious career is Taylor Hendricks.
No, but
She was around.
She's around.
For a
She
little
pops
bit.
up sometimes.
She was in ROH with the House of Truth.
Hendrix has also
So
performed with wrestling group. Her seems like her most recent exploits are wrestling group Lucha Patron, returning on June 17th, 2023. So that's cool. She seems glad to see someone getting work, But yeah, so she's very excited for her gut check, and apparently it's not that big a deal to have cancer when you're 21. Magnus is here. It comes out.
Oh, I said my note is get the fuck out of here, Nick Aldis.
Shit.
It's Nick Aldis. And then my next note, Magnus be saying the same boring shit he will say for the next decade.
Bro, Magnus comes out here basically epically. I just need to. This was my paraphrasing of it. He's British, isn't he?
He is.
He
is British.
He's British. I came to open fight night. I decided to come out here. I decided I wanted to challenge someone in the back, and I decided I want to do it right now, if you don't mind. Fascinating. You just epically declared you came out here to do the exact thing you're supposed to do on Open Fight Night.
Is designed to do here.
That literally, he says it like he's having some grand epiphany, and it's like, this is exactly how it's supposed to go. Thank you.
Yeah, anyway, Magnus says he is choosing a man whose head is not in the game. Now, Magnus, he knows what it's like. Every city in the world, he's got women lined up.
Oh my God.
To get all of this. But he doesn't screw around with another man's
monster
wife.
Condom for his Magnus dong.
Listen, bro, you get married to Mickey James, you don't need to brag harder.
Oh, shit.
Anyway, but he's like, hey, you don't screw around with another man's wife, especially when she's the one who writes the paychecks. He is challenging a man who is selfish, only thinks of himself, is a homewrecker, AJ Styles. And we cut to the back while he's talking about this, and AJ already has his fucking hood up.
He's
just hanging out in the back with the hood up.
It. He's like, I knew this was gonna happen. We'll fine. So AJ comes out seeming a bit morose, a bit
he doesn't do the cool like flip in the thing.
Yeah.
He doesn't like flip the hood and do the thing. He just comes out and takes his hood off, and he's like, okay.
So yeah, it's AJ time. Also, real quick sidebar, I kind of dig Magnus's music. It was kind of cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's AJ time, except AJ's got his head in the clouds. He's not in the head. He doesn't have his head in the
game. Doesn't really feel like it for the early part of this match, because AJ starts going to town. He does all his cool athletic shit. Prime AJ is an absolute fascinating thing to watch.
He doesn't have his head in the game. Shut up. You saw nothing.
He missed the Pele kick.
Yes.
Magnus just fucking moved.
That's absolutely. See, he does it. He's not concentrating. He does.
But guys, we also get an update.
Legitimately, and
we get an update though.
What?
Joseph Parks has gotten popcorn.
Joseph. Fascinating.
Important update.
AJ does. I think he like flips over Magnus at one point, and Taz on commentary goes, "That was pretty phenomenal." Pun intended. Thank you, Taz.
But yes.
He
hits. AJ is setting up for the phenomenal forearm to end this whole thing, and then down runs Daniels and Kazarian with papers of something.
I guess.
AJ like. He jumps back in the ring, goes past Magnus, and demands that Daniels and Kazarian like get out of here. And then Magnus, he gets distracted. Magnus hits him with some kind of a slam, and Magnus gets the win.
Yeah, AJ pins, womp womp.
And then Magnus holds up 7 fingers, except it's 5 and 2 for the 7 points that he now got from that.
As you do. Who cares? Oh, to Slammiversary.
Yes, I I kind of skip through this one to kind of save some time.
Let me give the rundown here. So Dixie Carter is I'm very confused, by the way, about the branding, because they insist that they're Impact, but Dixie Carter is sitting in front of like big embossed floor letters that say TNA. I'm slightly confused, but okay.
TNA always has been a little for a long time has been iffy about saying TNA, because they understand that like that name is dumb.
Yeah.
We shouldn't let Vince Russo name us TNA.
Yes.
However,
except now they're leaning in. Hey.
Well, that's a whole thing.
But yeah.
But yes.
Dixie Carter, who again is in the midst of a giant scandal, is like giving this very nice, like corporate, like 10 years is our year. And da 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 da. They get a bunch of other dudes that are like talking about Impacts. I fucking forget. Jeff Hardy, they interview briefly. I think they interview Bully. Oh, they interview Angle. They also interview AJ, but while Dixie, Hardy, and Angle are like interviewed like, head on camera style, like legit interview, AJ's just like looking to the side to the camera in the middle of a signing, like significantly lower quality video. It's like, okay, weird. And then that was kind of silly, but yeah, 2012 is going to be their year. They've been doing this for 10 years. Woo! And it's now
they should hold out better hope for their 20th year.
Yes, well, that's when we go back. Well, I guess their 21st year, 22nd, either way.
It's
gut
but
check
now it's time for gut check.
Taylor Hendricks versus Tara. Gaga, watch out for her witchcraft.
Hey, well, she does have a pet spider. But I did make a note of Taylor flips her hood back up so she can flip it back off when she gets introduced. But yes, this is Tara. Tara has a ton of she's a long experienced wrestler. We've seen her before. She was Victoria in the WWE. If you vaguely remember, during the Kane Katie Vick story, she was facing Trish Stratus and alleging that Trish Stratus only got to where she is because she's sleeping around with the boys.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, but so Tara's here. She's kind of a respected veteran, admittedly heel here.
Yeah, she's healing a little bit.
Yeah, and so Tara, I mean, she has a lot. Tara has a lot of control of the match. She beats up Taylor a lot, and it's like, you want to be a knockout?
Yeah, although Taylor does get her spots. I have to say, I kind of dig Taylor's moveset here. Like, it's very, like, acrobatic, and I thought it was kind of neat. She's very flippy. She even got, like, chants. She was winning over the crowd. She had a great,
she did a cool thing where she, like, head scissors Tara from the ground.
Yes. That was cool as hell. Taz is commentating while also, like, gut check judge scoring Taylor Hendricks' performance.
Yeah, this feels like a conflict of interest.
It feels
to have him.
distracting. And Taz does point this out. He's like, yeah, I don't know why the fuck I'm pulling double duty here, but here we are, I guess. And Joseph Park, we get a picture of him, or a video of him, like, we cut away to him being led to the back, which feels disrespectful to do during this match particularly, but sure, I guess.
Yeah, anyway. Taylor is firing up, but Tara ends up catching her in the Widow's Peak for the win.
Yes, and like
now,
on commentary,
basically none of the gut check people ever win. I think one time that happened.
I was gonna say, like, they're there to do like exhibition jobber matches. This felt very like tryout match. Like, you show how well you can sell, you show how well you can pull off your own moveset, and then you eat the pin because fuck you. And Mike Tenay immediately is like, Judge Taz, I know you're sworn to secrecy, so what do you think? And Taz is like, what the fuck?
Hey, yo.
Extremely incredulous about this. Like, what? Why would you ask me that? I can't tell. You just said I'm sworn to secrecy. Fuck you. Yeah.
Cannot wait for next week. We're going to listen to Bruce Pritchard, Al Snow, and Taz weigh in on this match.
I'm sure it'll be very, very insightful. We do get a really sweet show of respect from Tara toward Taylor, though, so that's nice. We cut to the back to see more BFG guys waiting to get called out. I didn't fully realize that RVD was just here. It's wild to see him just casually hanging around in TNA in 2012.
Yeah,
it's almost
bro.
as wild as seeing him just randomly show up on AEW now all of a sudden sometimes. Like, they just
that's definitely really weird.
I'm not complaining.
Yeah, anyway.
I do quite enjoy some RVD, I've learned. But also, what the fuck?
What are you doing here, man?
Yeah.
But then backstage, Joseph Park was being led to Bully Ray.
For some reason, I don't know how, like, Bully Ray's like, hey, you see that guy?
Had that kind of pull.
Yeah. Bully Ray is here to do his low-res Eddie Kingston impression. To try to
he so sucks. He's like, he could smell the fear on Park, kind of like the fear he had last week when he flipped that table over on him. And Park is like, well, I was scared, but I mean, not as scared as when Abyss came out of the ring last week. And Bully Ray is like, shut up! And he's lucky the Bully is in the BFG series, or he beat the hell out of him. And Ray says if he sees Park in the crowd one more time, or if he sees Abyss one more time, it's the last time either of them will ever be seen. And then Ray calls him a stupid bastard and then leaves.
Lame. Fuck that guy. I feel like it's so on brand for Bully Ray to be like, oh yeah, well, I totally would beat you up, but I'm in the BFG series. I got and then he goes back. He's like, oh, I still would have kicked the guy's ass, but I got to preserve myself for the BFG. Yeah. Oh, okay, dude.
Yep.
Samoan Joseph. Joe. I love him so much. How
it is Senior Joe.
Senior Joe. How the fuck does he look so much younger, but also the exact same? How does that work?
Phenomenal. But Samoa Joe is here. He's like, since nobody in the back had the guts to say my name, I'll just come out and kick this off. And Joe says that James Storm got lucky last week when he eliminated him in the Battle Royal. And so he is calling out James Storm right now.
Timothy Storm. He even makes a fucking like finding your smile joke. Like, he's like, when you were off playing with your cows and finding your smile. So they both wear cowboy hats. So that means he's Shawn Michaels, I guess. You know what?
I didn't write notes on this match because I was making my whiteboard.
That's fair. I don't have that many. It's actually in my big note is it's just actually insane what a top tier talent Samoa Joe is. Like, timeless, first of all, always great. He moves insanely quick and insanely strong at the same time, and he deserves the world. But by the way, sidebar, I'm gonna derail this a tiny bit. We fucking on AEW Collision this past week. The main event was MJF versus Kenny Omega, which was incredibly based and an insanely good match. Holy shit. Can't believe we got that on free TV. But beforehand, because everyone's gunning for MJF right now, Samoa Joe walks up to him backstage and he's like, hey, MJF, if you need a friend out there, all you need to do is call my name. And in return, you give me another shot at that title. And I thought, okay, so MJF might call for the interference from Joe on this one. But he never did. MJF won the match clean. And we saw Samoa Joe backstage afterward looking at the monitor with like a frown on his face. And I swear to God, I saw a single hot boy tear rolling down Samoa Joe's face. Samoan Joseph's
newest scheme failed.
Samoan Joseph deserves the world, Austin. I love that boy with all my heart. He must be protected. Be good to him. I love him. So Samoan Joseph is Samoan Josephing all over the place, and Jimothy Storm is, he's keeping up pretty well. I did get one.
These are two big dudes. These are two big dudes taking swings at each other.
James Storm is like, he's not as bulky a guy as Joe, but who is? But he's definitely like large in stature. So it is kind of a cool mashup in that regard. I do have a little bit of hashtag Taz out of context. I didn't even write down the context for this one, but from Taz on commentary at one point, I should watch my pronouns. The Tasmaniac in 2012, clearly ahead of his time.
Yes.
But James Storm basically ends up getting the dub, and as I put it,
Joe keeps going for the submission move. They almost tell a story with it, except I don't think they go to it enough because it's a 5-minute sprint match. But there is a moment where he has James Storm on the top rope. He could do the muscle buster right here and probably beat him because he beats everyone with the muscle buster. But he throws him off the top rope and is trying to get back in the submission. And then, James Storm gets out of it and hits the last call, which is a super kick.
I don't know why he wasn't going for his chokeout move, because that shit's fucking lethal and can win a match in like 2 seconds. But, sure, whatever.
But then, James Storm gets a win, extending his massive, disgustingly large lead.
Yeah, to 27 fucking points. Okay. So, and as I put it, he does his best Stone Cold impression because he gets a beer and starts chugging it.
And then after this, glass bottle's not cans.
Oh, yes, true.
But after the match, Joe gets a beer bottle and threatens to hit it, Storm with it, and the rest like, whoa, man. But then Joe just hands him the beer. Sign of respect,
I guess. Are they both faces right now?
James Storm is. Joe, I haven't seen
Joe
seen
certainly
enough of Joe
received
to be
like
able
a
to
face.
know.
Like he was getting cheers and shit.
Okay, we'll say he's a face right now. And then we get a recap of all the AJ Styles drama.
Also,
wait,
sorry. One more quick thing I want to know. We got after the match, we got a replay of the like winning super kick from James Storm. Something I didn't notice is I didn't notice the second time. He gets the pin on Joe, and once the pin has been counted, he fucking crosses himself. He does the sign of the cross.
He is a man of God and a man of beer.
Yeah, he's a man.
That is.
He really is Shawn Michaels thing all over the place. And please kill me. We're back to Brooke's office.
Well, I don't know if you had any thoughts about the recap of the AJ Dixie drama.
No.
We got because he had the video. It showed the evidence. It showed the phone call and the pictures.
Well, okay, I know that's not actually going to be like any of the case, though. And it's all shit I knew. I'm so confused as to why CD and Chaos have gone in so hard on this. It's so bizarre. And I am interested to know, like, the extent to which they knew about everything going on and, like, why they're... It's weird.
So backstage, AJ's like tells Dixie because he's only talking to Dixie these days. He says that he's falling apart out there, and like she was right earlier. We got to do this tonight.
Yeah. So they've made the decision. They are going to do this tonight. Which I wonder what they would have done if they hadn't decided to make a segment out of that. Like the way this episode times out, they would have had a few minutes to kill at the end. So like, who knows?
Good. Anyway, we're back with Brooke Hogan on that bullshit. Talking smack gets you nowhere, brother. But talking business gets you somewhere, dude. Brooke Hogan wants someone, she's really focused right now, and right now she thinks ODB is too focused on her husband, EY, and what he's doing.
Brooke Hogan has a real problem.
We haven't really seen any of that.
What?
I haven't seen any of that in the last month, so I have absolutely no idea what Brooke was going on about.
I don't know.
But yeah, as I mentioned in the front half, ODB and actually I didn't mention this. You did not.
You didn't really mention anything about ODB. I didn't realize she was still fucking around here.
Yeah, my bad, because it hasn't been an active part of television, so I forgot.
Fair.
The ODB is currently the Knockouts champion. Going to remind you of that is the tag title for the Knockouts division, which is the women's division of Impact.
Yes.
Keep that in mind. ODB is currently the Knockouts tag team champion with her husband, Eric Young.
Oh. Okay.
Yep.
I said
They're
like
like a
intergender matches, but that's still like okay, weird.
It's a comedy. They're a comedy duo. It's all ball and chain shit. The joke is EY is a total beta male, of course, and ODB is the one who wears the pants of the relationship. Yada yada yada. Again, EY is a man. He is a man, and he is the women's tag team, half of the women's tag team champions.
Sure.
And only Gail Kim once has called out that this is happening right now.
She's like, does anyone else think this is weird? And everyone's like, nah, it's fine.
And I want to point out, if you look at the Knockouts tag team championship, see if I can pull this up. The Impact, I guess it's currently the Impact Knockouts World Tag Team Championships. EY and ODB become the longest reigning tag champs ever. They hold the belts for 478 days.
No, you're lying right now. Stop it.
No, they win the belts in February of 2012. And they keep them until June of 2013. And you know how they lose the belt?
How?
Brooke Hogan strips them of the titles because Eric Young is a man.
Oh, jeez. Oh, yeah, brother. Are you just now noticing this, Jack?
Yeah. And then the belts were deactivated.
They were what?
After Brooke Hogan strips them of the belts, they would proceed to be retired for 8 years.
For 8 years?
They brought him back in 2021.
Oh, what a way to go out! That's great.
And if you think that even if it's really dumb that Eric Young is a women's tag champion and no one acknowledges it until it's time to strip them of the belts, at least that means that, hey, maybe that means Impact was doing some cool intergender stuff in the meanwhile, right? Well, you'd think that, except in the 478 days, going to reemphasize that, they would defend those titles twice.
What?
They mostly just existed as a prop around their waists, and they didn't do storylines with them. They didn't wrestle matches with the belts. They just had them. Nobody cared about the Knockouts tag division enough to do anything with Eric Young and ODB being the tag champs.
Well, that fucking sucks. What the shit?
Good times in the Knockouts division right now.
That women's wrestling gets in America. Let's fucking go.
Anyway, back to this. Brooke Hogan eliminates ODB for being more focused on her husband than on winning the Knockouts title. And then ODB's like, yeah, all right. Bam, bitches. And then she walks out.
And she's gone. Cool. Great. Outstanding.
Then
Bully Ray is here to pick on someone.
Do you know who I am?
Yeah, fuck you.
Okay, and then I loved it is there were total crickets. And then he goes, you're damn right, you know who I am.
Hey man, he doesn't let a failed pop deter him. That's some real heel shit right there.
Anyway, yeah, Bully Ray makes fun of the fact that Joseph Park has been evicted from the building. And then he's like, who's left back there? Jeff Hardy, Rob Van Dam, and the Pope. And so Bully Ray decides to take the easy route He is challenging the Pope to get those easy 10 points.
Yes. Taz wants to see Bully Ray beat up one of the refs for being shady? Question mark.
That's ECW style, brother.
Oh my god.
But anyway, the Pope, D'Angelo Dinero, his gimmick is he is blinged the fuck out.
Yeah, he is blinged the fuck out. I want to know, like, he has these glasses, these sunglasses that have crosses on them that are like blinged out crosses. I've seen these sunglasses before on Johnny Mundo in Lucha Underground. Did he get these from the Pope? Does he steal them? Were they perhaps
everybody be stealing from the Pope? For example, there was the dinero drop where money rains from the ceiling.
Oh.
Kazuchika Okada took that from the Pope.
Really?
A lot of the gimmick of the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, came from him ripping off or otherwise workshopping the gimmick with D'Angelo Dinero while Okada was in TNA.
What the fuck? That's so wild. That's secretly super influential wrestler D'Angelo Dinero,
aka the Pope.
AKA the Pope. Also, one more thing on Bully Ray taunting the Joseph Park thing. He says it's a good thing that Joseph Park isn't here. It's about time he listened. Which, Tango Pregunta, how can he listen if he's, not here?
That's true.
Also, and Bully Ray, this was really got me. Bully Ray says he wants his 10 points. Oh, yeah? Bully?
Remember that?
You got a submission in there? Uh-huh.
Apparently not, because his stupid ass never attempts to submit the Pope even once.
Beautiful.
Like, he tries to hit like 2 clotheslines and immediately pin the Pope, who doesn't even kick out. He kicks out before even the 1 count happens. And like, you stupid idiot, you only get 7 points if you do that.
He's so dumb. He's so dumb. I hate him.
Listen, I think Bully Ray is annoying. Yes. And I hate that in 2023, I still have to watch him on TNA Impact. I will say, though, when he wants to be a big, dumb idiot that gets clowned on, he's actually really good at that.
Well, that's nice.
Like, at one point in the match, he like tries to like do a splash on Dinero. Dinero rolls out of the way, and so Bully just goes face first, and he's like, He's like this total cartoon buffoon that has been bested.
That was good. That was a great moment. We learned from commentary that apparently you can vote for gut check participants
hashtag TNA gut check.
Then why do you have judges?
To influence the judges, to let them know that you got a real star on your hands. You can't let him go.
Oh my god!
You can't let him go.
How does this
let
work?
the people
How does
know.
anything in TNA work in 2012? I'm so confused.
And I mean, it's mostly Bully beating up the Pope. They clearly have, the Pope trying to fight back.
Yeah. So will they have a storyline of like Pope coming back from like some ring rust? He was in Hollywood? ?
He was in. They try to say he was in the newest Batman movie, which, if you want to do the timeline right, that means The Dark Knight Returns.
Dark Knight Rises.
Excuse me. And I tried to get credit on this, and I couldn't find it. Now, he probably was just like a stunt man of some sort, or a background guy. That's why I can't. And so I assume it's legit. I'm not going to go to IMDb for it. I went on Wikipedia. That was good enough for me.
Yeah.
But that is what they were saying, is that he left to go film the new hit Batman movie. And now he's back.
Outstanding. So yeah. Taz on commentary. Again, I didn't get context for this, but a great line from Taz on commentary of I mean, I'm friends with Bully Ray and I hate him. Based. But yeah, Pope is just kind of getting beaten up by Bully Ray, but he manages to get his licks in here and there. And then
Abyss is in the audience. Oh my God.
Whoa, no way.
And Bully's like, what the fuck?
What the fuck
is this?
What the fuck is this shit?
So the Pope knees Bully in the back and Bully falls to ringside. And then Abyss is like grabs at Bully and jumps the barricade to just like stalk him like a horror movie villain. Like he's just like standing out in front of him, like doing grab hands.
Yeah.
Trying to grab Bully. Bully runs back in the ring. The Pope hits an STO and the Pope wins.
Yeah, utterly based. The Pope for the dub? Hell yeah, brother. A little bit of shenanigans, but I don't care. Fuck you, Bully. Yeah,
Bully's plan to get an easy 10 points fails completely.
Easy 10, yeah. The Pope eating up Bully Ray's 10, yeah, totally 10 points. And doing it in style. Gotta say, I was impressed by the Pope here.
Yeah.
So, backstage, help me understand this, Austin. In the vein of I don't understand what the fuck, how anything works in TNA in 2012. Hogan is backstage with Rob Van Dam and Jeff Hardy, the two biggest stars of the company currently, aside from him, I presume.
Pretty much,
yeah. He says basically
Angle is up there.
Okay, that's fair. Angle is also really high up there. Hogan says that like because RVD and Jeff weren't called out for open fight night, that means they're the odds-on favor to win Bound for Glory.
He tries to frame it as like everyone else was too afraid to call out Hardy and RVD because they probably lose.
I totally missed that
trying to
because
say.
everything Hogan says is fucking word salad.
So but Hogan's like, I had a problem, dude, and it's now solved. Is because Hogan didn't know what to do for the main event, and now he does. I have a question. Hypothetically, what if it was like Robbie E and the Pope were the last two?
Well, then
would they have just not had a match?
Oh my God. You know
the way that Hogan frames it is the last two picked weren't going to have a match until they were such big stars that Hogan felt that was justified.
You know what this would have been, Austin? Wait, I have this. So, stay with me on this one. Have you ever seen the short from the Shrek 2 DVD, Far, Far Away Idol?
No, but listen, I'm in the middle of Haley Whipjack's 5.5 hour deep dive on all of every Shrek media, so I do know what happens in Far, Far Away Idol. If that's what you're suggesting.
You know where I'm going with this. So
I do.
So in Far, Far Away Idol, you because it's on the DVD, you can it's they have Simon Cowell show up to judge a Shrek version of American Idol, and a bunch of Shrek characters like sing and perform, and then at the end you can pick who wins Far, Far Away Idol. Except if you don't pick one of the like 4 main characters of Shrek, like if you pick like Prince Charming or Captain Hook, Simon gets the letter as to who wins, and he goes, "Oh no, this can't be right. Nope, never mind. It's me, everyone." And then he gets up and sings "My Way" by Frank Sinatra. That would have been Hogan.
Would have been like that.
He would have been like, "Actually, I'm the main event, brother. Nobody else is around here to draw for it, dude." So Hogan would have squashed like Easy E or whatever the fuck his name is. I'm fully convinced it would have been a Simon Cowell in Far, Far Away Idol moment.
That is a good shout and topical because 2 days ago I wouldn't have understood that reference.
That's incredible. That's so well timed. I'm just that good.
Yeah, you are. You're too good.
Yeah, true. So RVD and Jeff Hardy the main event tonight, which granted is fucking awesome. And then
okay, and then I here's my notes on this. Brooke Hogan is inspecting a binder with just Velvet Sky and Mickey James pinups in it.
This is
Like,
totally for work, brother. This is completely professional, dude.
Oh yeah, brother, that's what I'm talking about. But yeah, it was just funny to me because they frame it as if she's like doing some real hard thinking about like Velvet Sky or Mickey James, and you think in the binder would be like notes about like why they should pick either one, and no, it's just a post, it's just a fan poster of each one put in the binder. Yes.
Okay.
Hey, Brooke Hogan, though, as we learn, doesn't want to let the pigeons loose.
The pigeons? What? Oh, yeah. Oh my fucking God.
She doesn't want to let the pigeons loose.
I forgot about Taz's weird ass term for boobs.
No, it's ass, because he says it when he says let the pigeons loose. When Velvet Sky bends over the middle rope and the camera just like zooms in on her ass, and he's like, hey, it's time to let the pigeons loose.
Yeah, I forgot Velvet Sky wasn't she like healing it up the last time we were in TNA?
She was, because she was part of the beautiful people.
Yes. So she's a lot more chill now, I guess. So it's I just have in my notes, and I quote, what the hell is this?
Yeah, okay, so the big hype story, a weeks-long storyline that has been happening in TNA is that when Brooke Hogan came into the executive director position of the Knockouts division, a thing she is clearly very qualified for, trust me.
Sources
trust me on this. Sources Hulk Hogan's penis.
You can go ahead.
Anyway, so Brooke Hogan is talking up how she's going to get all the Knockouts bigger media opportunities to become big stars, right?
Yeah.
Because she has connections through Hulk Hogan. And she gives Velvet Sky a position in a music video by musical country music group Montgomery Gentry. And they hyped up how she's in this music video. You got to go to YouTube or whatever right now and go watch their music video or their website or their MySpace or whatever it is they were hyping. I zone out when they talk about Montgomery Gentry. And then they decide to just play like half of the music video.
What the fuck? What was that?
And honestly, you know what's more? I don't like country music. But you know what's more offensive to me than bad country music?
What's more offensive to you than bad country music?
Bad music videos.
Oh my God.
This music video is just Montgomery Gentry playing on a stage.
Presumably on like the Impact entrance ramp, it looked like.
Yeah, it looked like it. Cut to shots of Velvet Sky just doing regular things in her daily routine.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's supposed to be meaningful. I don't know. Here's what I took away from the Montgomery Gentry video, and since I've learned that screen sharing since I've kind of realized that screen sharing is a thing on here, I'm gonna pull up this image. Sorry to the audio only people. Get good. I'm going to pull up an image. Here's what I took away.
I'm scared to even know what image you were wanting to pull up here.
Is why in the fuck, Austin, does one half of Montgomery Gentry look like an unholy love child of The Big Show and like young Jim Ross?
This is horrifying, and why?
Am I wrong?
Why we got to look at this?
Am I wrong?
No, but also the fuck.
Why? Why is this? Like, he's got, like, the Big Show face, but he's got, like, the young JR mouth and, like, you know, the beard that JR will rock sometimes.
Well, it's Montgomery Gentry.
Yeah, so that's great.
Velvet Sky, she can, it's time to let the pigeons loose, King.
Yeah, no, stop it. Get some help.
No, you're right. JR wasn't be this horny unless he was an AEW.
Unless he's on Twitter.
My mistake.
Unless he's
Excalibur, I think it is time to let the pigeons loose, if I may say so.
Well, JR, are you okay? I'm really horny. I'm really horny.
I'm glad they took Jim Ross off commentary once Tony Storm decided to be insane.
Oh my God! Can you imagine the sexual psychopathy we would have experienced in real time?
Jim Ross would be so horny, but also this is the
But
most
so,
Jezebel
yeah,
a woman has
but
ever
so morally
Jezebeled.
scandalized. Oh my god, he would have been so simultaneously horny and morally scandalized. I think he would have just like mutated into a Puritan pilgrim on the spot. Well, the that Jezebel is she's pulling an orange out of her pants. Well, that's certainly something. Certainly something, Excalibur, I have to say.
Anyway, back to this. The music video was trash. But they don't play the whole music video. They like, if you want to see the rest of the music video, go to this website.
Ah, great. That's awesome. But yeah, it's Knockouts time, baby. And Brooke
it is Miss Tessmacher, and Brooke has Velvet and Mickey both like backstage in the gorilla position. Mm-hmm. It's like, I'm proud of both of you women, brother. And she knows that Velvet has got what it takes, dude, because I gave you that opportunity with that Montgomery Genevieve intro. But Mickey, you're getting what you deserve tonight, dude.
Her pinup her pinup made my nether regions go a bit tingly, brother.
Yeah, so Mickey James gets the title shot, and Velvet is a good sport.
Yeah, Velvet's a good sport about it, presumably because she got a consolation music video out of the whole deal.
Now, I may not like country, but I do like hardcore country.
Yeah, sure. I guess.
Theme song.
They
for
think
those of you who don't know.
I do not. But yeah. So we get into the match, and it's actually a pretty decent match. Mickey James and Tessmacher are both proving pretty fucking athletic. Mickey James, like, at one point has like a hand lock with the Tessmacher, and she just casually like cartwheels through that. That's sick as fuck. Mickey James is also like, she's in control for a lot of this match. Like, is there a story with like Tessmacher not really being really ready to like be Knockouts champ?
I think so. I think the way they're playing it was a big upset win for her to beat Gail.
That's fair.
And so I think they're kind of portraying Tessmacher as like kind of a not quite a rookie, but close enough. And now she's champion, and Mickey James is Mickey James, one of the top women in the world.
Yes. That makes sense. But yeah, so Mike Tenay, while talking about the main event, because, you know, fuck, who needs the fucking women's match, am I right? Mike Tenay calls Jeff Hardy a charismatic enigma, which is, I guess, his nickname around this time, which
that is the nickname, the charismatic enigma.
I feel like you could come up with something a little bit more, something with a little more zhuzh to it, you know? Like, maybe if we brought some barnyard animals to it. Yeah, I'm just spitballing.
The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma.
A charismatic enigma, Brother Nero. Anyway, yeah. So Tessmacher does like these jumping clotheslines, which don't look great, honestly, but she's clearly still like kind of green.
She's trying.
I'll give it a pass, you know.
Mickey James jumps off the top rope. Brooke dodges her. You know, they're going like she's going crazy here. Brooke Tessmacher hits like a corner face buster where she like has Mickey in the corner, and she gets up to the top rope, jumps off the top rope, and as she's jumping, grabs and slams Mickey's face into the mat. I was like, whoa.
That was cool, right. Yeah. I did really like
that.
And
then Mickey tosses Brooke into the ropes and hits a stiff kick to on the rebound.
Brooke Tessmacher, like, does the single slowest rebound off the ropes there that I've, like, ever seen. So the whole thing looked
and then,
like she's, like,
yeah, and then Mickey proceeds to absolutely nail her in the head.
Yeah, that was funny. She's going slow, and yet Mickey still knocks her the fuck down.
Mickey goes for the DDT for her big DDT, but then Brooke counters with a roll up and the win.
Yes. Also, I didn't realize that having your hands under the rope can break a pin. That feels...
Yeah, you're in the position.
I don't think I've
You're
ever
out of the
seen that
ring at
enforced
that point.
before.
It's pretty rare. It's usually people like, just grab the rope.
Yes.
But technically speaking, being under the rope is out of the ring.
Okay, fair enough. So Tessmacher for the dub. She retains. As she's leaving the ring, she signs "I love you" to Mickey. Now kiss.
Mickey's like, oh no, I've seen where that goes.
Oh, wait.
Except I was the crazy lesbian that time.
Oh no. Oh no. Is there a theme of crazy lesbians abounding here?
I feel like I definitely have mentioned Mickey James being a lesbian stalker to Trish Stratus before.
Maybe.
It was her introduction to WWE.
Christ.
As the lesbian stalker of Trish Stratus.
So yeah, so we have 14 minutes left going into the main event, which is...
And we have a main event and a promo.
We have a main event that caps off at 10 minutes. So exciting, but also like, god damn it. So RVD...
Rob Van Dam!
RVD makes his...
The whole effing show!
I have to say, okay, so Impact's like Tron graphics for each wrestler. They have like vertical screens, which is kind of neat. And a lot of times they'll show like pre-tape little like, things of the wrestler like on the vertical screens. And we got this great moment of like RVD is on the ramp and he turns to like his left, while on the Tron to his left, his video self turns to the right. So it looks like they're turning to each other to have a conversation, which I would not put it past RVD stoner ass to have a conversation with his video reflection.
Whoa, man.
Whoa. Hardy, then Hardy makes his entrance. I have to say, this, I might have found the end point to this this joke / observation I make sometimes. Jeff Hardy runs his hands over his face, and he's got his full ass like Jeff Hardy makeup on. That makeup does not run. Have I found the one wrestler who actually powders his own goddamn makeup? Have I discovered?
Yeah, Jeff's face paint doesn't run.
It does not. He fucking powders it, or at least put some setting spray on. Finally, a man with taste and class. Hell yes, this is why we love Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
So Taz says that RVD and Hardy are the favorites to win the BFG series, and Mike Tenay goes, hey, wait a minute, I said that during RVD's entrance. Taz admits that he wasn't listening, and I admit to myself the same thing, because I did not notice Mike Tenay saying that. Taz is like, yeah, you're right, I wasn't listening, brother, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so Rob Van Dam immediately goes for his, like, scissor pin.
Yeah.
Because these guys are running a sprint here. They are hitting all their big moves and only their big moves.
These are two men who were like made to collide in the ring, though. It's really cool.
Yep. RVD immediately going for the Rolling Thunder.
Oh yeah.
And he missed, and Hardy blocks him back and forth. Jeff Hardy does this crazy ass move where Rob Van Dam is down in the corner and Jeff runs at him and he does like a spinning wheel kick, like kick into a backflip, and he hits Rob Van Dam as he does the backflip.
That's so cool. Yeah, these two guys were great. I didn't really have any match notes per se because it's just sprinty shit. Actually, I did have some match notes. Toward the end, like the final sequence of this is sick as hell. Van Dam has, I think he managed to get a Rolling Thunder.
He does the split leg moonsault
off on Hardy. He does
the Rolling Thunder,
but Hardy
split leg moonsault.
Hardy manages to kind of counter, get him down. Hardy sets up for the Swanton Bomb. Van Dam dodges it, and then goes. So while Hardy's down, Van Dam goes up for the 5-star, his own top rope jump off finisher, which Hardy dodges. Van Dam kicks out of Hardy's fucking Twist of Fate finisher. But then
he kicks out of he just kicks out of a straight up DDT.
Oh, straight up DDT
that drops him on his head.
Yeah,
and then he eats the Twist of Fate, the normal Twist of Fate where he lands.
DDT and the Twist of Fate, but
they are close to the same
that's
move.
Fair.
But he hits the Twist of Fate, and Hardy gets the dub.
Yeah, so Jeff Hardy up 7 points, and apparently the favorite to win Bound for Glory now, I guess.
Yeah, so we're gonna cycle back to the board now that we're done with the Bound for Glory series for the day. At this point they flash on the screen the scoreboard for everybody.
Yes.
Who needs it? Because I got this easy to read board right here. So as you can see, at number 1 with 27 points is James Storm.
Outstanding.
You know, that 20-point battle royal, big win here. Then in second place is Kurt Angle with 10 points, having gotten a submission win tonight. Then tied for third place is Mr. Anderson. Magnus, D'Angelo De Niro, and Jeff Hardy all at 7 points. I didn't change the number here, but technically in tied for 7th place is Rob Van Dam, Bully Ray, Robbie E, Christopher Daniels, AJ Styles, and Samoa Joe, all sitting at 0 points so far.
Great. That's unfortunate.
I will 100% be keeping track of that.
Yeah, thank you. As we know, when you watch TNA, you really want to have your whiteboard out so you can take note of exactly how many fucking points have been distributed in this complicated ass thing. So
exactly.
It's time for the real main event, I guess, of AJ and Dixie Carter's confession. Why the fuck do we have 8 minutes left? Why the fuck did you make Hardy and Van Dam sprint like that, you monsters?
They did announce that next week, Daniels and Kazarian get their contractually obligated rematch for the tag titles against AJ Styles and Kurt Angle.
Yes, very exciting.
So that's fun. But yeah, Styles and Dixie come out, no music. Dixie gets the mic and she's like, this has been going on for a long time. And situations like this never have a positive outcome. People get hurt, lives are changed or destroyed. And she starts stuttering. She doesn't know what to say. And AJ Styles off mic is like, hey, we don't have to do this. We can leave right now. AJ, make up your mind.
AJ is like,
are you doing this or are you not?
He's like, actually, no, fuck it. We can just bail. It's fine. Also like this whole time, like while Dixie's trying to have a whole ass emotional moment and like this subtle speech, the crowd can't shut the fuck up to save their lives. They're just going like, woo! Which totally ruins the effect, but okay.
But AJ starts leading Dixie away, and then out comes a mystery woman.
Oh no. Oh, and I wrote in my notes, oh no.
I wrote so much of her speech word for word.
Here.
So this woman comes out and she talks to Dixie and AJ and she's like, I want to do this. And she tells AJ to let her in the ring. She gets the mic. My name is Claire Lynch.
Here she is, boys. Here she is, world.
You don't know me, and Dixie and AJ, we're hoping to keep it that way. Dixie, you've been like my family. Our families are just so close. And AJ, I've known you for so many years. Thank you. That like this woman we have never met before. We just got to establish extremely quickly how she knows any of these.
Oh yeah. No. Deep emotional connections. They date back a long time. Please care about them.
There's such peak fucking like self-insert energy happening right now.
Oh no.
And Dixie, I respect you so much.
What?
I could come to Dixie with absolutely anything. And Dixie was there.
What?
Claire Lynch has a hell of a crying face. She is all in on this.
Except she cannot actually conjure tears to save her fucking life. So it just looks contorted and lame.
Hey, listen, I get it. I also can't conjure tears.
Well, sure, but then don't pretend like you're crying.
I'm not being asked to play that character right now.
Yeah,
I'm doing it for shits and giggles.
Don't like do that shit when you have a camera close up on your face, idiot.
But Dixie, you listened to me and you knew that AJ would be able to help me too.
What?
And AJ, you have the highest moral character I've ever seen.
What?
Which which is why I've come here today to tell you the truth.
What? Yeah, what chance
Dixie
this
and
entire
AJ.
time? Which, thank
This is
you,
such a
idiots.
long preamble.
I hate wrestling fans so much. See, at this point, I think I haven't figured out what's up with Miss Lynch here. It looks vaguely like she's pregnant. So I'm like, "Oh, okay. There's like a baby that's involved here. Oh no, I guess I'm an asshole cuz that never gets brought up. Sorry, Claire."
No, Dixie and AJ are not having an affair. I'm an addict.
No.
I've been trying to get clean.
Wait, fuck, I lost track of my gimmick. Fuck, wait, hold up, just a second. Shit, fuck.
I'll go back up.
One more time. Give me a second.
This is why I've come here today to tell you the truth. Dixie and AJ are not having an affair.
Uh-huh.
I'm an addict.
What?
I've been trying to get clean.
So, what? This is so much worse than I could have imagined. Already, this mystery woman has looked dead ass into the camera and said that she is an addict. No.
She's been drinking. She was the drinks.
No. What?
She does the pills.
What?
And
why are there still what chants? What the? Are you people hearing this? This is unhinged.
And there were nights where she'd wake up in a motel with a man she never met. And
what?
She's been going to AJ. She stole money from her family to feed her drug habit, and that's why she couldn't go to them. She had to go to AJ and Dixie.
Okay, but she's recovered, right? We're not going to have to deal with a whole storyline involving serious active drug addict shit, right? I hate you.
I don't know.
You
I don't know.
Fucking bastard.
Anyway, Claire says she didn't want anyone to know, and they all kept her secret. They were there for her. That's when Chris Daniels and Kazarian got in the way.
I love how she calls Kazarian.
Yeah. Can only imagine her getting the script for that one before the show. When Chris Daniels and Kazarian, I got that right? Did I get that one right?
Yeah, right. She's just trying to earn her equity, or her SAG card,
Yeah, this is a big jump for her, in case you didn't know. I assume you didn't actually. Is it Claire Lynch is just a regular actress. She at this point in time was a character actor at Universal Studios.
Hey, look at that.
Most notably playing Olive Oil.
Well, that's
over in the Popeye segment of the park.
She does have a very Shelley Duvall quality to her, I will say.
Mm-hmm. And so TNA was like, hey, we're doing this storyline. Let's get one of the actors at Universal because we film at Universal.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how she got involved.
Sweet.
In this. She's a character actress at Universal. Anyway,
sky's the limit, kid.
Basically, all of the evidence is a bullshit. The embrace pictures, the video of them going into Dixie's room, the phone call, it's all a big misunderstanding. To which my question is, what?
How? Literally how? Why doesn't Dixie's husband know about this?
Yeah, that's what I most want to know, okay? Like, I can believe a lot of things, right? I can buy the idea that this was a secret and Dixie was mad that, the Dixie was mad that it started getting aired out to the world.
Yeah.
Okay? I got
sure.
That. Why does Serge not know? Like, if this is like, if she is if Claire is a family friend of the Carters, why does Serge not know? Why does Serge think that AJ is cheating? Is Dixie is cheating on him with AJ, and he decked AJ in the face 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, like So he knows Claire ostensibly. Why would she keep this from him? And also, I'm sorry, Serge, you have to be the biggest dumbass in the world to fall for thinking that this super obvious they're not actually cheating setup, thinking it's actually legit. You have to be the world's biggest dumbass to see this theatrical bullshit from CD and Kazarian and be like, oh yeah, with absolutely no specifics and no like substantial evidence, that checks out. Actually,
no, the evidence. No, I admit the evidence does lead you to think it's an affair, but also the evidence as presented is a picture of them hugging,
Yes,
a video of AJ going into Dixie's hotel room, and a phone call where AJ is like, hey, Serge, hey, I can't wait to meet up with you. You know, Serge isn't going to be around, right?
yeah.
Which, again, sucks as hell if I was treating this, but that's also all it is. Why is Serge not talking to his own wife about what that's about?
We didn't need to escalate immediately to decking AJ Styles in the face. It's the point I'm really trying to make here.
And honestly, cycle back on this. Why did everyone act so much like this was an affair when AJ and Dixie knew it wasn't an affair?
And yeah, why didn't AJ and Dixie be like, hey, like we can't share much because it's a personal matter, but like
it's not an affair.
We have a like family friend who's in crisis right now, so like it's all bullshit. Like they didn't need to be like
the language they use is again stuff you'd expect from there. Like, what are you doing? This is ruining our families. Like, how?
Yeah.
If you know it's not actually an affair, how are AJ and Dixie's families affected by this?
And why did they talk in absolutely no fucking specifics in any of their recorded comms?
Whenever they talk to each other, it sounds like they're having a goddamn affair.
Like they tried to challenge themselves to help their friend with her drug problem in the most sussy way possible.
It's like at some point they decided we kind of should play it up of like, wait, like let's throw them off the scent.
Stupid. So anyway, and we cut backstage
to Christopher Daniels is like, no. Why did anyone tell me she was here? Which means that Daniels and Kazarian knew that all of this was bullshit.
Which okay, sure. Then he could have like deceptively edited shit, I guess. But my question is, what the fuck is going on? Why are you doing this? Is this all really a ploy because you're salty about wanting the like tag team championships and this is your solution? Really? What?
Also, why does this affect AJ in the way it does? AJ knows nothing is happening between him and Dixie. Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian come forward with not definitive, but close but definitely suspicious looking evidence that an affair is happening. Except AJ knows it's not an affair, and yet he is completely emotionally devastated by this as if it was.
He's just really concerned about protecting his reputation, I guess. But like, what the fuck?
But then why are you not just open and honest that it's not an affair?
Yeah.
Like when Daniels and Kazarian broke out the pictures, he acted like he got caught with the smoking gun.
If I may, there is an option C here. Crazy idea, which is essentially, don't give away personal info. Don't dox your friend Claire Lynch. But you can be transparent about what's really happening, and it works out better for everyone. What?
Like, this twist is so dumb because there is absolutely no setup for it, and everything before it absolutely looks like exactly the thing that it is apparently not.
Contrived ass bullshit all the way down. Oh my god, this is so dumb.
We're not even close to the end of this road. But anyway, Daniels is mad. It seems that his evil plot has been foiled, which, by the way, what a paper-thin plot. it really relied on AJ being an emotional wreck over literally nothing.
For no
because
reason.
because him being like, hey AJ, we have proof of this affair, except he knows it's not an affair and AJ knows it's not an affair, which means all AJ has to do is be like, it's not an affair, idiot, and the entire plot is ruined.
The whole premise here,
it is the world's stupidest Batman gambit. All right, that's a TV tropes bit, by the way. Batman gambit.
Take a shot.
There I am again. A Batman gambit is a gambit that only works if the people involved act in the way that you expect them to. Named as such because of some comic book storyline where Batman tricked the Joker into beating himself because the Joker acted in exactly the manner that Batman expected.
But you see, I predicted that you would be a dipshit.
This is a Batman gambit. This only works if AJ is exactly as emotionally unstable as Daniels thinks he's going to be over evidence of a not affair.
It's so goofy, bro. It's so fucking goofy. It's insane. And I am horrified to learn that this goes even deeper. Because already this is making my brain explode.
This isn't the depths. This isn't the depths of anything yet. We haven't even hit the bottom.
Oh, good. I already want to die. So this is going to just get way better.
Yeah, so Daniels and Kazarian come out and they're like, hey, yo, what the fuck? And Dixie gets Claire Lynch out of the way, and then AJ just goes to town.
And AJ, he's got his head back in the game. Now the truth is out, and he's able to dispatch Daniels and Kaz with ease. Okay, dude.
Okay, cool.
Christ.
That is how the episode ends. I had a lot of fun with this episode overall.
I was clowning on a lot. I did not hate this.
No, it was. I love how fast-paced TNA is making these episodes. It is all thriller, no filler.
It makes
for sure.
As a content creator, as watching it as a content creator, this is great. I'll take it. Far from the most painful thing we've had to watch. I don't know if I'd casually watch like 2012 TNA. You know, it's not. It doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know how I'd feel about this if I had to follow this like week to week, and this was like, this is my big weekly episode of wrestling, is watching this.
Yeah. But man,
but it's fun. Is like a cutesy, like I can laugh at it a decade later situation.
Yeah. And again, the work on it is not terrible. It's just a little too quick for my liking.
Mm-hmm. But we had fun here. We have 5 more episodes to go. Let's see how much more fun
I
we
forget
can
you
stay.
keep breaking our 5-episode rule because you hate.
I really try. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but this arc has too many essential moments that need to be seen to understand.
This attempt on my life has left me scarred and deformed.
I haven't even attempted to have an attempt on your life yet. Don't worry about it. But that's for another day. For next time, it is time for maximum Destrucity. Because it's time for WrestleMania 6.
Oh, wow. We're here.
The Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it's time. We're actually doing this.
Yeah, we have hit the moment. We've seen the 2 moments that anyone cares about in this arc, and way more on top of that.
And we got to make fun of weird fucking promos a lot, which I'm always here for.
No, that was fantastic. But yeah, next time we will be watching WrestleMania 6, the Ultimate Challenge.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. All right. 2 WrestleManias in a year, and neither of them are the current one. Let's go, baby.
Hey, all right, but that's for next time. Until then, David, hit our plug.
Yes, sir. Dear friends, thank you all so much for joining us in yet another episode of the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast. We are so delighted to have you here. Returning listeners, viewers, what have you. You guys know the drill. Thank you all so much for once again welcoming us back into your eardrums, your eyeballs, whatever the hell it is used to consume our content. We're just so happy to have you here. New people, hey, hi, how's it going? Welcome to the show. We here at the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast like to think we're friendly, both noobs and knockouts alike. So whether you're brand new to the wild, wacky world of wrestling, or you're a veteran of all the weird bullshit. Either way, we are delighted to have you here. We hope you've had a great time with us. We hope everything has felt accessible to you. We hope you want to keep having a great time with us week after week after week, and we can tell you all the ways you can do so. First and foremost, of course, you can find us on YouTube. We are the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast on YouTube. Hit subscribe, ring that bell, make sure it turns a nice little solid color so you get notifications every single time we drop a brand new episode. Check out all of our playlists. Austin has been kind enough to organize all of the episodes that we follow into their own separate playlists. So if there's a storyline you want to check out, you can follow it all the way down without having to skip around a whole lot. It's great. And hey, if you'd be so inclined, give us that sweet comment, like, engagement. Helps out our metrics tremendously. Bigly, some may say. And hey, you can see our
No.
Look.
We'll not be doing that.
Well, look. So some may say, maybe you don't. I do. And also, you can see our beautiful, lovely faces on the video version and see what an absolute whiz I am at folding my laundry. I totally kept up with the bit. Shut up. And you can check out Austin's section.
You have no proof that he did.
True. Well,
unless you watch the video version. There we go.
And of course, you can see Austin's sexy whiteboard. Naturally, who doesn't want to see that?
Yeah. Who doesn't want to see a whiteboard for the BFG series?
We love to see. You know what? I did not know how the whiteboard was gonna factor into this. Simple but elegant. I appreciate it. So anyway, that is the YouTube version. But of course, if you are a fan of the audio-only experience, we have you covered there. You can find the Noobs and Knockouts podcast on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts, 3 of the best places to find your podcast. Check out all that audio delight on those platforms. Listen to our show, download our show so you can listen to us offline. That's pretty neat. And if you're so inclined, maybe give us some nice reviews and ratings. Tell some people these guys might be kind of cool. Maybe you should be listening to them. Yeah, just a thought. I'm just spitballing here. Be sure to check all of that out over on Spotify, Google, Apple. You know the drill. Of course, if you want to get in contact with us, find us on this thing called the interwebs outside of our little void that we find ourselves in every week. You can do so on a few different platforms. Mainly, of course, is our Twitter at Noobs and Knoxpod on Twitter. That's at Noobs, the letter N, Knoxpod on Twitter. Come check us out there. We do the whole Twitter thing. We do memes and discourse with the IWC because we hate ourselves. And of course, we put up a post every single time we drop a brand new episode, so you guys always know what the hell is going on. And of course, the highlight of our Twitter is weekly wrestling live tweeting. Call me Eric Bischoff because I'm back! And I'm
better than ever.
Yeah. The triumphant return of the noob to the Twitter. Avenue Q closed its run. I am sad, but I'm glad to be back watching my weekly stories, my wrestling. And I love to tweet about it with you guys. Of course, every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern on TBS, we are watching and tweeting all about AEW Dynamite. And of course, on top of that, when I have the chance on Friday nights at 10 p.m., we sit down and we'll watch a nice, classy little hour of wrestling on TNT with AEW Rampage. It is the show that y'all been waiting on. And when I have the chance on Saturday nights, because they are all right for fighting, 8 p.m. Eastern, also on TNT, we will watch and tweet about AEW Collision. I am a proud collider. You'll love to see it. On top of all that shit, Austin, being the knockout that he is, loves to follow all of the 3 major North American wrestling companies. Allegedly, a little bit in theory, and talk to you guys about them, especially for the noobs of the audience. We like to give you guys a kind of rundown of what your options are. If you're interested in this whole wrestling thing and you want to shop around for what appeals to you most, we like to give you guys the full rundown and especially hit up some of these pay-per-views that tend to happen. And also, this is kind of our one chance in the show to talk about modern wrestling a little bit. So, Austin, my friend, what is on the docket coming up?
Right, so this is kind of weird, right? Because when we're recording this versus when we release it matters a lot, right?
Oh.
In that Impact and WWE have shows this weekend as of this taping date. But they will have passed by the time this airs. So,
okay.
Let's talk about that then. WWE upcoming has will have just passed Crown Jewel. That's ye old Saudi Arabia show. It's Saudi Vision 2030. Let's go.
Go.
Anyway,
Let's go away from here. Anywhere but here. Get the fuck out.
That is not happening. It is the only time Roman Reigns will show up. So no.
That's they pay the big bucks to get Roman, and nobody else does for the rest of the ever.
Anyway, if you want to watch Raw every week, it's Mondays at 8 on USA Network. SmackDown is Fridays at 8 on Fox. After the Saudi Arabia shit, though, it is time for Survivor Series on November 25th.
Shit.
It has been announced that it will in fact be War Games yet again.
I kind of figured how it is. It will also. It will also be announced.
Well, they used to do traditional Survivor Series elimination matches. By God, we didn't do this damn War Games shit.
Well, it has also been announced that CM Punk very much will not be there despite his best efforts, which I think is very funny.
Hey, you don't know yet, man. That Dave Meltzer. What is he? Nothing.
Uncle Dave.
I get all my news from Nick Houseman, and he says that it's as good as done deal. So
Raj Giri says actually the WWE is the best ever, and they make all the best decisions, and totally we're gonna get CM Punk. He brings in the ratings because we're the best ever. Did I say we? I mean, I'm totally not on their payroll. Shut up.
It's taking place in Chicago. I mean,
obviously. I can't wait for all of Survivor Series to get drowned the fuck out with CM Punk chants. I can't wait.
Anyway, that's November 25th. You can watch that on Peacock, WWE NBC Universal streaming service. That is where WWE has all their events live every month. Now, for Impact Wrestling, they are they just finished up Bound for Glory, the big ending of the year pay-per-view.
Hey, look at that.
But they're taking a bit of a break. They're basically not doing any more TV tapings. They are, for the rest of the year, they've just got some international tours that they're going to tape and make work as TV on a weekly basis because they are doing a big production overhaul come the new year.
Yes.
And they are rebranding to TNA.
They are TNA again. Holy shit. Yeah.
TNA is back, baby. The TNA truthers stand up. That is me. I am a TNA truther. This is exciting, I think. There's a lot of discourse about it. They got rid of TNA at the time because it really did hold them back, and it kind of became known for being a stupid name associated with bad, stupid wrestling. And now that it's been a few years, the nostalgia for what TNA used to be is here. And, I think with AEW, there's less pressure, I think, to kind of be like a serious mainstream wrestling brand.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
Yeah, right.
But TNA's kind of accepted their role as like king indie shit.
Yeah.
An indie for sure, but an indie with a name and a TV deal, like with cachet and history. And they're leaning into that by leaning into the name that most people liked better anyway.
Yeah, I will say I actually quite like Impact as a name. I thought it was classy, but
I liked it.
Being like, fuck it, we're doing it live.
Fuck it, we're TNA again.
Yeah.
But so that they're an upcoming pay-per-view in January. Hard to Kill will be their official, like, we're rebranding, buddy. But we do have a couple of monthly specials on Impact Plus first. I will say, if you want to watch Impact weekly, you can do so at Thursdays at 8 on Access TV, or for a $1 YouTube subscription every month, you can watch at 8:30 every Thursday on YouTube.
Not bad.
But they got a couple of monthly specials first on Impact Plus. It's their streaming service. It's where we're watching this arc. Isn't that fun? First, they have Turning Point. That's going to air after this episode actually airs. It's a big. It's already been taped. They had Rev Pro wrestlers on it as well. It's a big cool deal. Freaking Simon Miller,
Oh
culture
yeah,
guy.
yeah,
Had a
I
match
saw that.
with Joe Hendry.
Positive energy wrestling boy.
Yeah. Will Ospreay had a match as well because he is the newest Impact TNA signing. I have also, of course, ignored all Meltzer news that said he's going to AEW. No way, brother.
No way, dude.
He is going to Impact. And then also, November 11th, though, this is super fun. Throwback Throwdown 4.
Okay.
So Throwback Throwdown has become a TNA gimmick where they basically do like fake old territory parodies.
Okay.
Like I'll give you the rundown of Throwback Throwdown 3 from last year. It main evented with a 5-on-5 match between the team from the Impact Provincial Wrestling Federation with Cowboy Colt McCoy, Tim Burr, Frank the Butcher, and Giuseppe Scavelli Jr. and Giuseppe Scavelli Sr. versus the team from the Great Lakes Unionized Wrestling, Glow. I can't say it right.
Glow.
The IPWF and the Glow with Devon Damon, Neptune, Lord Humongous, and Manfred the Mad Mammal.
This is insane, but I think the kind of like kitschy insane that I can really get down with.
Another match: DJ Too Large versus Nature Boy Buck Hemphrey.
DJ Too Large.
And then Tommy Dreamer is just himself, but I think he plays a younger version of himself.
Just young Tommy. Man, they're really gonna put
Dreamer.
that filter over his face, run him through a bit of AI in the ring.
Yep, it's fantastic. It's hilarious. And this is the fourth one. They got Bill Ding versus Jack Hammer.
Bill Ding.
We're cooking. We're cooking at the Throwback Throwdown.
Bill Ding. No.
I feel like we need to watch one of these damn things for the show.
I would love to. Actually, please.
Yeah. So that's Impact Plus. That's coming up November 11th. Absolutely watch it.
Insane.
You don't need to know any actual storylines from TNA because obviously the point is this is a joke. We're just fucking around.
We just like to have fun here.
All right. Now for AEW, their next pay-per-view is Full Gear coming up on November 18th.
Yes.
And we got MJF doing double duty again as he is defending the Ring of Honor World Tag Titles with who knows yet, because his buddy Adam hurt his ankle, and then also Roddy Strong made him do all of his yard work, and so he had to put off that surgery for a few weeks. Because that's a thing you can do.
And he totally isn't the devil.
Yep. Versus the Guns.
Bang
Austin
Bang.
The Bang Bang Gang is getting some gold.
Bro, may I just say, I feel like we really cooking right now. It makes me so happy. I can't believe how much I've fucking warmed up to the Guns. Like, I may give everybody the benefit of the doubt, guy. I was never down on the Guns, but like, man, they have leveled up so much, and I'm so here for their like glow up. It's actually insane.
True. Also, we get Hikaru Shida defending her title against Timeless.
Again, great gimmicks across the fucking board.
I think Shida would really appreciate. I mean, Shida has done theater. I think she would really appreciate.
I keep forgetting that Shida was an actress for a hot second.
She still does acting. Like half the time that she's not in AEW, she's off doing some like show. Some like theater show. I forget what kind of theater she does, but she does do a type of theater.
Well, I need to
in Japan. So
do like kabuki, does she?
No, it's not Kaboom. It's like I think it's like what's the one man show kind of theater they do over there?
Fucking Muscle Venus, blah blah blah.
I can't find it on her
I
Wikipedia
don't know.
page, but I know that's part of what she like when she has had hiatuses before. Anyway, I think she would appreciate how Tony Storm is a true film actress.
Yeah,
she is
true.
showing her newest silent films for us on Dynamite.
She's ready for her close-up, Mr. DeMille. Luther is now her butler?
Luther, that's correct.
Luther, yes. I didn't realize, I'm stupid, I didn't realize it was the same Luther until I had it, like, explicitly spelled out for me.
Yes.
Either way, neat stuff.
And then we get a six-man tag, Sting, Darby, and 2BA versus Christian, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne. I mean, we all know what you got to do.
We all know.
It's pretty easy. The TBA is, of course, Ric Flair. And then as soon as Ric Flair tags in, he betrays Sting. Like, what else do you do here?
Wait, no. What? We're gonna do this whole thing for Sting's retirement, and then we're gonna keep Flair around for a betrayal angle?
I will put it on tape right now. Sting's retirement match is Sting and Darby versus Andrade and Ric Flair.
Don't you stop that.
Let me put that to you right now.
You stop that right now. You fucking stop it. You better stop.
Put that on tape right now so when I'm right, I can go back to it and say that I said that.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
Also, the main event, MJF versus Jay White.
Yes. Oh, breathe with the switchblade, baby. I'm so excited.
Listen, if he doesn't win, it better be because Swerve is taking that belt from MJF.
I agree.
There are two options for me. It's going to Jay White or it's going to Swerve.
I agree.
You get two choices.
I agree. Either way, I'm so here for it.
Yep, so that is coming up on November 18th on pay-per-view.
Absolutely. Be sure to check all that shit out. Again, we love telling you guys about this, especially for the noobs in the audience. You know, if you're looking to get in on this stuff, pay-per-views are a great way to get in on wrestling. You know, you're bound to get some epic matches. Storylines are wrapping up. New ones are starting. It's a really accessible onboarding point, I think. So yeah, just check all that out and check us out over on the Twitter. If you like listening to us ramble about wrestling for hours on end for some reason, you'll like it over there. The voices carry over. We like to have a good time here at Noobs and Knockouts Pod on Twitter. Of course, if you want to get in more direct and long-form contact with us, you can email us at noobsandknockoutspod@gmail.com. That's noobs, the word, and knockoutspod@gmail.com. Come say hi to us there. Tell us what you think about the show. Tell us, what you want to see us cover on the show. Tell us our hot takes are awesome or say that we're stupid. I don't fucking know. Either way, start discourse. Say hi. We love people saying hi. We would love to say hi back. Noobs and knockoutspod@gmail.com. Of course, finally, you can also find the Noobs and Knockouts podcast on Patreon. The link for that is in our Twitter. $1 a month gets you early access to episodes and a shout out at the end of each episode. Shout out, of course, to who else? The sugar daddy, Kyle Smith, our most loyal of boys, for his patronage. We love you, Kyle. Enjoy your perks. If you want to enjoy your perks along with our boy, be sure to check us out. $1 due every month helps out the show more than you know. It's emotionally too. It's a great boon, truly. And it goes a long way to helping us out. So if you want to check us out and maybe patronize us and get some perks to go along with it, be sure to check out the Noobs and Knockouts podcast on Patreon. The link for that, again, is in our Twitter.
See y'all next time.
Hasta luego.